Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand.
Back again like flu season, I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving, don't give a fuck, I don't care. Did the by my lonesome, no wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run, all I really want is my share. Get him, I got him, I told him it's nothing. In the discussion, for them feelings I throw all my pain on percussion. The disgusting, I hear them bragging about shit that they did.
Oh man, we is back. Yes, we is back. What's up, everyone? What's up, boys and girls? Let's come on in. Hey, we is not in the building with that bullish, man. We not in the building with it, man. We coming in with some pure positivity. Hey, it's your boy, Classic Craig, representing the D, my home, what I love, with the kid, with the one and the only Pseudo Slayer of the Pseudo Killers. Wait a minute, hold up. He's not just the Pseudo Slayer. He's not just the Pseudo Killer. He is the most powerfulest janitor. Damn it, he ain't no janitor. That's what you liars say. This man is professional. This individual right here, you sleep on this man. He took the belt from JK 7000 and brought it home, the paradigm shift. He is the champion, the Lions Den champion of Paradigm Shift TV 314 and Powerful Builds Only. I gotta give it up to the man, the Beast Master, the Master of Birds, the Master of Hounds, the Master, the Master Teacher of killing pseudo Master Teachers. I gotta give it to the one and only Cedric Ortega of the Pseudo Killers, the champion, man. What it do?
What it do, man. Yes. Man, Craig, Classic Craig, thank you for that classic, beautiful introduction, man. That's a hype job. That's a hype job. I appreciate it. I felt that one in my bones.
You got
in the corner getting ready to fight.
You got to beat your chest and be like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. But before we start yelling and the testosterone and adrenaline start just pumping and we start losing our minds and foaming from our mouths like wild animals, right? I want to say what's up to everybody in the chat. Yo, what's up to Miss Heyru Consciousness? What's up to Heyru Consciousness? Big shout out to Rough 'em Up and Rock 'em Around Rocky. What's up, King Hercules? Hey, what's up, Spiderface 666? That's evil as hell. I watch him. But other than that, yo, what's up, everyone? This is a very special show today. You know what I'm saying? Very special show today. Before we get into it, I would like to say, just on behalf of Paradigm Shift TV 314 to Pseudo Killers, we do not ordain or try to do any form of disrespect. We don't try to do any form of, slandering. We understand we're a brand, you're a brand. We'll never try to do that. So if one of our members cause a little bit of static, it's a reflection of all of us, So it is what it is. Shout out to brother E5. Bow. What it do? Hey, man, I'm glad to get that guy in the chat. But, to Pseudo Killers, you know what I'm saying? Just understand, please don't kill us. We love Juju. We love you guys. Juju, don't sue us. I seen you threaten a few pseudos talking about you will sue for using the name Pseudo Killers. And I looked it up. I said, this lady lying. I looked up like, oh, goddamn, it is a... Okay, all right, never mind. Yeah, so everybody be careful because they serious over there. Shout out to Hey, that man's wild as hell. Hey, shout out to Kick the door in Kent. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Black Widow. You know what I'm saying? Very interesting and enigmatic lady. You know what I mean? For those who don't know, that word means mysterious. But yeah. So check this out. So I just want to say, shout out to everybody. Shout out to Shackle Breakers Reloaded, the one and only Sabio. We got some business to do, Sabio. We got some business to do, man. But hey, I just want to say, welcome in. This is a very special show for our champion. For a lot of people don't know, Cedric is a champion. Cedric has done a lot of work in the community, online and offline. A lot of individuals just don't know how this man has done a lot for the community, right? So he deserves a lot of respect. I mean, this is an individual, right? A lot of people call this man a janitor. A lot of people call this man so many stupid things. And I laugh. I call Ced a janitor because it's wild. Like they call this man, out of all people, a damn janitor. I mean, what janitor got the government calling him? What janitor got the government calling him? White folk, pale, the cave beast calling this man. What janitor? So, it's a lot we got to talk about. Shout out to Brother Lavelle. Long time no see, brother. You've been missing in action. You know what I'm saying? But listen, bro, hey, this is Cedric Ortega of the Pseudo Killers. Man, hey, this brother has a lot to address. There was a lot of things that was thrown out, and it was wild as hell. It happened on a show before. Unc West did a show about it a little bit. He thought we got kidnapped. Me, Ratchet, Sage, the secretary, DMG. He thought we got kidnapped. We didn't get kidnapped, but it did put us in a pickle. But hey, we here right now. We finna get it together. We finna push it. We finna do what we need to do. But other than that said, hey, I'm finna turn it over to you. Let's go, brother. What you gotta say, man?
Man, again, I appreciate you so much. You're letting all the cats out the bag. I'm a glorified janitor. Lately, I've heard that I'm a dog breeder and a pooper scooper. It's always wild. Let me shout out to Chilimbwe Pseudo Killer Official. He gets serious with it. You talk about a library of information, you name it, Chill's gonna provide it. We read up, we source up. That's Chill is serious with it. And shout out to Mika Wan in the chat. Let's get it. A well-organized lie. Shout out to Brother defeats a disorganized truth every time. And let me say shout out to one of the Pseudo Killers Foundation. When I say CK the Poet, who solidified the term a pseudo always dies at their source.
Woo.
Since late last year when I decided I'm going to get my feet wet in the debate arena, I understood that what came with the territory. And my whole approach from starting from the bottom up was an attempt to just be humble and be part of the whole brand. However, once you represent the pseudo killers, once you ride side by side shotgun with the God killer himself, there's always going to be a target on your back. I have seen an increase in my name and the Pseudo Killers brand in many YouTube titles. And again, it goes with the territory. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Pseudo Killers got them running scared. We on the prowl. You know what it is? So goes with the territory. So it was no surprise to see the Pseudo Killers being called out once again by someone that is overly emotional and sensitive and feels the need to justify their existence by attempting to engage with the pseudo killers. But you see, I train dogs as well, and one of the things you do is you observe dog behavior. Usually, the dogs that bark in the loudest really don't want that smoke. So when you call the pseudo killers out, we gonna show up. It ain't but a thing. How many times have I admitted on different platforms, shit, I was wrong? We about correct information. There is no agenda and there is no ideology. So when that is in play, it is never personal. So we always show up. Remember that. It could be 2 o'clock in the morning. Ask JJ. We'll show up.
Man.
Zion wasn't ready for me to show up.
Oh, man.
That was obvious. Because once the panel got lit, my brother lost all decorum, proceeded to strawman and red herring each individual on the platform before turning the mic over. And the behavior of that kid who brought his basketball to the court, it's my ball, I'm playing, I'm going to take my ball, was illustrated of his inability to really engage on this sort of academic level. I stated as a pseudo killer, I am on the A side. I never acquiesced to a faulty premise. If your whole moot is rooted in a logical fallacy, what is there to talk about? The only thing I'm here to do is educate you. At no point in time did I assume I was superior to this individual, thereby not willing to engage. That made no logical sense because I was on the platform. However, like you say, like I said, that chihuahua that's barking, they really don't want that smoke. Now, let's get into his complete premise, and we don't even need to do much with this. And it's just that simple. You equate religion to science. They are fundamentally opposed. Science is rooted in the philosophy of methodological naturalism. Science makes no claims for and of the supernatural, including God's. God has been rendered a metaphysical supernatural assertion, even in the realm of philosophy. Methodological naturalism examines, explores the natural world and its phenomena. There will never become a time where you will see a scientist saying, here, this equation requires God times 2. The entire premise of his whole diatribe was silly. To further illustrate the irrationality and the incoherency of his whole bill, he was using neuroscience, archaeology, anthropology in his defense of religions. The tools we use to examine natural phenomena, you assert, equal to an engagement religion which has no epistemic foundation. It's a belief system. If you have a belief system, why do you require science to justify your belief system? There is some cognitive dissonance at play. There is a need for relevance in his whole diatribe. Religion has remained stagnant for the last 2,000 years. The story hasn't changed. It is not evolving. It is not growing. It is stagnant. Science, on the other hand, continues to develop, continues to grow. The tenets of science itself relies on a circle of continuously asking more and new questions to further our understanding of the natural world we inhabit. You use science to justify your religion, where science makes no claim for and of your religion. It is non sequitur to science. Your need to hold science hand is indicative of the childlike state of religious processes. This is a waste of our time. And because my brother knows that he has become a complete waste of time of human beings. You see this whole emotional outburst, this straw manning and red herring of individuals. There is no moment of my day that a God is relevant. When we get on these platforms, my atheism is not within the discussion. The pseudo killers are a scientifically literate group. We make no claim for and of religion. You can be religious and be part of the pseudo killers. There are many doctors and other professionals that are religious. However, they know where to leave their religion. They know when and how to apply their religion.
So wait a minute, Ced. Wait one sweet moment. You're telling me you have Christian pseudo killers in the pseudo killers?
I'm saying we have a range of belief systems from agnostic to full-fledged atheist. Agnosticism would be the most scientifically accurate position to take, which means by you have no evidence for and of against, so you cannot make a hard knowledge statement either way. Whereas when you are an atheist, you go one step further and make a knowledge claim, and that knowledge claim is rooted in the information that is provided of a God. It is contra science. It is anti-reality what these claims of these gods represent. So you have a range of belief systems within the pseudo killers. You have a Christian, non-Christian within the pseudo killers. Shout out to our brother Joel. And what you see is when you have a range of thought processes, you start to humanize the human experience. It changes your engagement. So what I do is I provide tools of reason, logic, and the scientific method. I have no need to take your God away from you.
So you're saying that everybody got it wrong, and you guys aren't just some bloodthirsty white man loving science individuals that want to take God away from people. So everybody got it wrong.
Listen, let's be honest. Who doesn't love a good gospel tune? Juju, shout out to Juju. Juju and I are driving in the car listening to gospel music. We are part of reality. However, I do not need to believe in talking snakes and donkeys. There is no need for that for me. Atheism simply means a lack of belief. Atheism has nothing to do with the scientific method itself. It is a zealots who cannot use science to substantiate their God is who become overly emotional when we understand that the biblical narrative of creation is completely flawed and anti-reality. When you understand that there was no first human, so there could not have been an Adam or an Eve, and that narrative of a man giving birth to a woman is completely irrational. That's just what it is. And I don't believe that. Belief is not something you can force. You are either convinced by the information or not. I am simply not convinced by the information. My epistemic, my epistemological scale is a little bit higher than simply a story that is not grounded in anything that is observable in nature. However, you can have your belief, my friend. Doesn't do nothing for me. It is non sequitur in my existence. I do not need to take your God away from you.
Hey, watch it. However, using too many big words. You said epistemic. Hey. I seen that. I seen that. So hold on right quick, right? So So of course we already know the pseudo killers get a lot of propaganda and stuff like that. You know, me personally, I don't tell Unc I said this, but I feel like Unc West has PTSD from dealing with too many pseudos. When he was on here talking about they were casting spells and throwing chicken at him, like I don't know what type of but Brother Lavelle, right? Shout out to Brother Lavelle described. So he said, so all Christians in that group are scientific. That's
If everybody that's part of the pseudo killers or the pseudo killer army, scientific literacy is the foundation of our discussions. Without that, there is no growth, there is no development. So it starts with understanding the principles. So at no point in any discussion are you allowed to interject any supernatural forces. That's a premise. Why? It's the foundation of science, methodological naturalism. When we are discussing the human condition, religion is obviously part of that discussion. And you would be a complete moron to deny the psychological effects that this concept have. How does it come? How do human beings develop this phenomena that we can give agency to things outside of ourselves? It is rooted in our ability to have empathy. We can have conversations with individuals within our mind. That's quite unique to the human experience. It is a genetic effect that is part of our evolutionary process. Your ability to give agency saved your goddamn life. Simple. Religion hijacked our ability to give agency, pattern recognition, ritual forming. You see, if you are following me on Facebook, you will start to see that I have a very ritualistic way of existing. You see a certain structure in videos that appear. That's the structure that my life has. It is a ritual existence. There is things that I do sequentially, and all humans have this to a certain degree. Religion hijacked those natural aspects of human beings. Now, if we go back into history and we study philosophical developments, you would understand that when we look at these concepts of religion today, these concepts of spirit, these concepts of soul, God, heaven, hell, they are rooted in 4th century Greek philosophy. Aristotle. Now, after Aristotle came Kant, eventually we got to Hume. Hume said, listen, you are making claims about reality without any sort of evidence to support these claims. You are presupposing without any evidence. That was the birth of methodological naturalism. There must be a there before we can start a conversation. So when you're making metaphysical claims about things that exist outside of time and space, which means outside of reality, you and I can make anything up. We have no ability, none whatsoever, to even conceptualize what is before time. That is even an irrational question.
So this is outside the scientific method, right?
Yes.
It's metaphysical belief. And, with us, we're bounded by the laws of physics, right? The laws of the natural world. When I say natural world, we're talking
about
fundamental
forces. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't get that when we say natural. They think about just right here, but, it's...
No.
Universe,
fundamental forces.
Hey, there was somebody who had a debate like that, and he got tripped up. But we ain't finna go into that. Sid. We ain't finna go into that. He should have known. He should have known. He should have been smarter. But
anyway. A capital A P-A-R-T versus A space P-A-R-T. Reading is fundamental.
Folks. Very fundamental. Comprehension too. Sometimes people read but don't comprehend. Anyway,
we out here, we catching bodies.
Yeah. Hey, we gotta Hey man, I can't. Hey man, we gotta be serious, man. We gotta be serious. We gotta be serious. But a lot of people do have the pseudo killers wrong, right? And I had to do a lot of study on the individuals. I mean, they're very aloof. They are some secretive motherfuckers. I gotta give it to them guys, right? But you gotta understand why they're secretive. Once you understand through the conversation, if you're not emotional, if you're not out to get them, you'll get why they are. Because it's so sad, because it happens in reality in the Black community all the time. You have a lot of professionals, a lot of individuals that want to give back, but hey, their own people hate them and want to, burn them, because they have it differently. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty wild. I've seen it before, right? At least they ain't like the other individuals that act like the damn boule. You feel me? Like, the black boules, they feel like they better, boy, they worse than the white man. At least the pseudo killers ain't like that,
It is one of the fundamental reasons I don't walk around blowing my own horn. I do have a certain rapport. There's just a certain decorum that us as pseudo killers try to promote as part of our brand. We want to bring scientists and scholars into our environment, and even though I enjoy a dirty, good, down low fight and get in the mud, it isn't positive for our brand. We want to have a legacy of programs that our kids and our grandkids can watch. That's gonna provide sound information where people can really start to grow in the thought process. The conscious community, let's face it, it is a breeding ground for scammers that are preying on the ignorance of our people. Scientific literacy is the vaccine against the charlatan, the scammers, and the hustlers, right? That are trying to lead you down dark ways. You know what I mean? And when you teach scientific literacy, you balance the conversation out. You see, the whole Black Egypt conversation. If you're able to take your emotions out of it, if you are able to just look at the data and realize geography, I see fundamental flaws in reasoning, right? I far too often, we were the first what? Evolution happens in population. There was never a first man or woman. There was never a single phenotypical or genotypical human being. Human being is the result of continuous mixing of Homo sapiens that eventually led to what we see today, that is continuously evolving. It is environmental pressures, natural selection, that's going to determine the phenotypical traits that exist in a particular region. And when you got bottlenecking events where you shrink the genetic diversity, you get these stagnant phenotypes, right? Understand these processes, and then you would understand that from its inception, Homo sapiens sapien had a genetic diversity. There was never a human being. We take terms like mitochondrial Eve and Adam, and we confuse what they mean. Evolution doesn't happen in an individual; it happens in population. And the longer your reproductive route is, the slower your evolutionary process is. That's why it took 7 million years to get to us. And we are only here 350,000 years.
Okay, so
we need to slow these conversations all the way down.
So check it out, right? Because we got a lot to cover tonight. We have a lot to cover, a lot to tackle. Hey, shout out to Coffee and Culture, aka Rocky. Hey, solid brother right there. Shout out to Rocky. But we have a lot to cover tonight, man. Boy. You know what? Hey, we at Paradigm Shift, we love you. You know what I'm saying? I wish you'd give me an autograph. Unc ain't gonna give me a goddamn autograph, but it's all right though. I accepted it. You know what I'm saying? But he will have some conspiracy theory videos, done on him, uploaded to Paradigm Shift. So, if y'all want to know why, it's because the man wouldn't give me his goddamn autograph. I think he's a reptilian, cold-blooded. But anyway, other than that, so Ced, you got any clips, anything you want to present on what happened last a few nights ago?
I'm gonna just touch a little bit, on let me see if I can find it right here.
You're going to the handy dandy computer.
It's a presentation I already did, right? And it is the root. It is at the root of all these issues that we're dealing with. I'm gonna run through it real quick. Let's see here. Let me share my screen. Share screen window. Here we go. My screen sharing.
Yes, sir.
This is a presentation that I did a while back on the pseudo killers as part of a series that I did. And I think this is where a lot of the problem stems from. The finality of our human existence, the fleeting moment that we exist, when we are confronted with the existential nature of life, and we face that crisis. And a lot of what we're dealing with really stems from this. Let me fix this full screen mode.
Yeah, it's on you, Ced.
Death and the afterlife, myths, fears, and finality. I do not fear death. I had been dead for billions and billions of years before I was born, and had not suffered the slightest inconvenience from it. Mark Twain. Death is one of the greatest universal experiences, one that every conscious being contemplates. And yet our cultural narratives around death are shaped less by fact and more by psychological need, existential fear, and centuries of myth making. This presentation was at the end of a whole series I did on I can't remember the title right now, but it's a part of a five-part series. So let's go in. Today we explore why the fear of death leads to belief in souls and afterlives, what really happens biologically and neurologically at death, how societies construct continuity myths like heaven, reincarnation, and near-death experiences, and we'll critically debunk those claims using neuroscience, psychology, and rational inquiry. Let's begin at the root. Fear. The fear of death and the birth of belief. The psychological roots of afterlife beliefs. Humans are the only species known to fully comprehend their own mortality. We see other animals like elephants going back and recognizing their dead. Chimpanzees have been known to mourn their loved ones. But for as far as we know, we are the only ones that really comprehend our mortality. We understand. We understand death. We fear it. We don't take unnecessary risks. We value life. That's a lot to carry. This awareness brings existential terror, a core concept in psychology called the terror management theory, TMT. According to TMT, humans create symbolic systems, religion, legacy, nationhood, ideology, to manage their fear of non-existence. And if you remember, I said we want to leave legacies that our kids and grandkids can look at. I just said that. It is part of my TMT. It is not religious, but it's legacy building. It is me needing to leave something behind. No human being is not subject to the human experience. Take a listen.
Subway series at all.
After that.
Subway from irresistible cheesesteaks locally at Subway.
Some of y'all need Subway.
TMT, proposed by social psychologists Jeff Greenberg, Tom Pishinsky, and Sheldon Solomon in the late 1980s, is a psychological concept that explores how humans deal with the inherent fear of mortality. Central to TMT is the notion that much of human behavior is driven by an underlying fear of death and the need to manage the terror this realization engenders. According to TMT, people employ two primary psychological mechanisms to buffer the anxiety associated with the awareness of mortality: cultural worldview, validation, and self-esteem enhancement. Cultural worldview validation involves adhering to the values and beliefs of one's culture, which provides a sense of meaning and order to the world. Themselves as part of something enduring beyond their finite lives. Self-esteem enhancement, on the other hand, is about perceiving oneself as a valuable member of the cultural framework. By meeting or exceeding the standards of value within one's culture, individuals bolster their self-esteem, which serves as a protective shield against existential anxiety. TMT has been supported through a plethora of research, including the mortality salience paradigm. In such studies, making subjects subconsciously aware of their own mortality, for example, through questions about their death, often results in intensified defense of their cultural worldviews and increased striving for self-esteem. It is essential to recognize that TMT has broad societal implications. For instance, it helps to explain phenomena like nationalism, religious extremism, and aggression towards those with different cultural beliefs, as these behaviors can be seen as ways to defend one's worldview against the existential threat posed by alternative perspectives. In conclusion, terror management theory offers a profound insight into the psychological mechanisms that underlie a broad range of human behaviors and cultural phenomena. It highlights the depth at which the awareness of our mortality can shape individual and collective action.
Now, doesn't this remind you of everything that was on display by our good brother? A wild, violent attempt to justify his worldview? Isn't that what was on display?
Yes, sir.
So you see why I don't even get emotional when I see that type of behavior. It is a man that is in his prime existential crisis. He's at the point sitting there with his washed up, half-looking dreadlocks in the middle of the day with nothing to do, with no one around him, going on Facebook talking about my physical demeanor as if that has anything to do with the information, resulting in ultimately challenging me to a fight. I'm 52 years old. I have a stroke and I play with animals. Do I look like I want to fight anyone?
I said, you done with the screen, or you want me to?
No, man, I'm continuing. I'm just driving the point home. I'm taking my time with this.
Oh, yes, sir, man. Washed up, half cooked looking. Oh, hey, this hey rude. I can't put your comments up. You be going too hard. Hey, shout out to Super Wavy in the chat. Shout out to Super Wavy, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Wavy, man. That's good, brother. Powerful Bills Only, man. Go subscribe to his channel, man. If you want some wildness, you want some powerful builds, go over to the Super Wavy channel, man. Powerful Bills Only.
So when reminded of death or mortality salience, right? You get that. I need to go fight those pseudo killers. They don't believe in my God. People can become more defensive of their worldviews. For example, when confronted with reminders of that, people might become more strongly attached to their religious belief. National identity, Rasta man, yeah man, yes, I Jew, I fight and conquer, yeah, by all that. And their political ideology. My brother said he was sitting at home writing legislation and writing summons, and he's doing all that. Every every classic psychological illustration of his fight, his existential fight crisis that he's going through right now. They may also engage in behaviors that strengthen in-group favoritism and out-group hostility. Shout out to Nobody Kills.
Damn.
Religious beliefs provide literal immortality, soul's heaven. Religious immortality beliefs are powerful in that they offer not just an abstract idea from continued existence, but often involve rewards or punishment, offering a moral framework. You can't have you don't have no morality without God, and the ultimate sense of justice. That's why the brother feels justified in wanting to beat on an old man that plays with birds and trains a dog. This can help individuals cope with mortality salience by providing a sense that their lives have lasting significance. I'm writing legislation. I'm changing the world. From your living room. Dark. You need more light when you're writing legislation, my brother. The belief in an afterlife or the persistence of the soul effectively reduces existential anxiety by offering comfort, meaning, and purpose beyond the limits of human life. So when he's complete with that diatribe and his oxytocin levels start to rise, you see a smile come, he starts to laugh because he just killed the pseudo killers and confirmed his belief. He's gonna live forever. Secular ideologies offer symbolic immortality, achievements, legacies. You know, we're always proud of our achievements, proud of our offspring. These type of presentations, knowing that I'm going to be forever immortalized on YouTube. These things are legacy buildings. Again, no human being is immune to being a human. It is the way we deal and cope with these things. It is our level of understanding of the natural world around us is how we actually cope. Ignorance produces the type of hostile production that you saw from my brother, and now his trolling and constant tagging me in irrelevant posts on YouTube as if I don't have a job. I'm a janitor, remember? I'm not sitting at home playing on Facebook all day. While secular symbolic immortality doesn't offer the same spiritual promises of an afterlife, it allows individuals who create meaning and purpose in the face of death by focusing on what they can contribute to the world, the people they affect, and the ideas they leave behind. This can be just as comforting and motivating, helping to reduce existential anxiety. Of course, I had a stroke at 40. I'm 52 now. You think I didn't face these existential crises already? You think I didn't have these conversations with myself already? Think I'm not prepared? Think I didn't have these conversations with my kids? I was forced to deal with this already. And that's why I have this peace in me. I don't need to do all that. We all going dead, and then the game's over. Deal with it, and provide a sense of continuity beyond one's lifetime. This explains why nearly every culture has developed a narrative where something survives after death, be it a soul, reincarnated self, or place in an eternal afterlife. If you follow the series, I was examining where all these ideas come from the early animism that our ancestors practiced, and the development of these ideas from early Jewish thought, which had nothing to do with soul or with spirit, to the Greek invention of soul and spirit, the reincarnation concepts of the Near and Far East, and concepts of eternal afterlife. Right? We explored all of that in this series, and this was the last episode. in that series. Go check it out on the Pseudo Killers. The fear of death and the belief and the birth of belief. Historical emergence of afterlife myths. Ancient burial sites like those of the Natufian culture, circa 13,000 years ago, show care in burying the dead with tools, flowers, and food, suggesting a belief in some form of continuity. Petit, the Paleolithic Origins of Human Burial, 2011. From Egyptians' belief in the Ka and the Ba to Hindu reincarnation and the Abrahamic heaven and hell, that the common denominator is denial of annihilation. Why? Because the finality of death feels intolerable to many, as Ernst Becker wrote in The Denial of Death in 1973. The idea of death, the fear of it, haunts the human animal like nothing else. That's a fact. My dad died a couple of years ago. Yeah, if you understand, you never hear me talk about any particular individual in these YouTube streets. I got one hero, my dad. That rocked my world. So again, no human being is immune to these feelings, to these concepts. It is the way we deal with it. So I'm not getting on a high horse. I'm just explaining the existential crisis that my brother is going through right now. What really happens at death? Let's strip away the mythology. What does science say happens at death? Death occurs in stages. Clinical death, heart stops, breathing ceases. Biological death, cells begin dying from lack of oxygen. Brain death, neuronal activity ceases, especially in the cortex and brainstem. The brain especially dies quickly, within 20 to 30 seconds after cardiac arrest. Electrical activity flatlines. After about 6 minutes without oxygen, irreversible brain damage begins. Neural shutdown. What the data shows. In a 2018 review of Frontiers in Aging and Neuroscience explained that the so-called life review or flashes of light in near-death experience often result from hyperactivity in the visual cortex during hypoxia. It's the brain's last fireworks show, not evidence of a departing soul, unfortunately. Now, those ideas are continued to be promoted in our community. However, again, this is not evident. There's no evidence for this and of this. However, near-death experiences are a natural phenomenon, and there are individuals and even universities that are collecting data. The collection of data, the registering of this phenomenon, does not provide an explanation, nor does it justify or quantify, aka soul. Again, no evidence of a departing soul. The last fireworks show hypothesis is based on the idea that as the brain nears the end of its function, there could be a surge of activity in the brain's neural networks. This may result from the brain's attempt to make sense of the distressing physiological conditions it's experiencing, such as the lack of oxygen, and could explain the vivid, surreal experiences reported by individuals who have near-death experiences. From neurological perspective, these experiences are the result of brain processes such as the changes in the brain's chemistry, blood flow, and electrical activity. During a state of extreme stress or near death, these processes can create hallucinatory experiences or feelings of transcendence that might be misinterpreted as spiritual phenomena. In essence, the flashes of life and life reviews could be the brain's way of processing extreme stress, combining memory retrieval, sensory overload, and neural malfunction under hypoxic conditions. This provides a naturalistic explanation for these experiences, suggesting that they are not evidence of a departing soul or consciousness, but rather the final response of the brain under severe distress. Now, as someone that is rooted in methodological naturalism, that accepts and seeks to understand all phenomena from a naturalistic point of view. Why? Because that is the only experiences that we can validate and quantify. Outside of that, you can make up any metaphysical idea that you want to attribute to these experiences. However, it would not be supported. It would be you simply making it up.
Man, said, man, man.
Benchmark we did. We saw that big transformation through fear of death, new insight, important in life. This is empathy. First to reach yourself, accept all negative aspects, accept empathy and compassion towards others, towards nature, because they are connected with the that's why they put this in experience. For it's a kind of life insight experience. And the third aspect is enhancing implicitity that you see, feel, or feel through events. Someone will cry, someone will have cancer. You cannot do it, but they will know. Only the patient is in it as it is the objective proof for the subjective experience.
You heard what he said? We have objective proof of these subjective experiences. Based on your cultural container, you are going to interpret these experiences. What the resulting effect is shown over the majority of human beings is that they embrace life more, that they become more in tune with nature, they become more calm. These are the tangible effects. It doesn't establish a soul, prove an afterlife, or justify the belief in a God, unfortunately. Now, I'm not going to the further biological processes of death that speaks for itself. However, let's talk about these two final points. Energy transfer. There's no soul or energy that escapes the body upon death, at least not in any measurable, scientifically detectable way. That means any conversation after that is metaphysical, meaning you have no grounding, no evidence, no reason for why you're explaining what you're explaining. That's why we see these elaborate explanations that are required when a simple question is asked. And that's why you often hear people on our side give a short little answer to any question, because we are speaking from factual information. There's no need to create a whole diatribe. Any energy that was previously within the body as chemical energy in cells, for example, dissipates in the form of heat during the decomposition process. The body returns to a state of thermodynamic equilibrium, where the energy it once contained disperses into the surrounding environment. Thermodynamic disassembly. Last point. As you mentioned, death can be viewed as a thermodynamic disassembly, where the ordered system of the living organism, cells, tissues, organs, break down into disordered state. This process follows the second law of thermodynamics, where energy naturally dissipates and disperses, and system moves towards a state of maximum entropy disorder. The body, once a complex, organized system, eventually becomes part of the broader environment, undergoing the same physical processes as any other material object in nature. The body, once a complex, organized system, eventually becomes part of the broader environment, undergoing the same physical processes as any other material object in nature. In this view, that is purely a physical process, one that is unavoidable for any material object in nature. Once that system is no longer provided with an external energy source, entropy takes place and it breaks down. And there is no evidence from science to support the existence of a soul or any measurable consciousness that persists after death. The body undergoes chemical and biological processes of decay, and there is no energy that transfers to another plane of existence. Reinforcing the naturalistic materialist perspective on death, I don't shy away from being a materialist. It grounds you, put both feet on this earth. It allows me to accept that I'm simply part of the natural world. I'm not special. I'm just a human. We are not unique. We are unique, but not special in nature. You think you are equipped with sonar guiding system like a bat or a dolphin? You think without tools we can circumnavigate the world underwater? Man, we can't even survive in nature in our natural state for 24 hours anymore. We are special, but we're unique, but we're not special in any particular way. Why do we need the afterlife? Death is not just a biological event. Nope. It's a social rupture. You heard me talk about my father. Social rupture. A piece of the fabric of my reality gone. We build narratives to soften that rupture. Psychologically, we crave continuity, some assurance that our story doesn't just end. We all need that. There is no escaping the human experience. The psychological impact of death. Human beings have an inherent need for continuity and meaning in their lives. As conscious, self-aware creatures, we construct personal narratives to make sense of our existence. So, again, once you understand these things, there are a certain level of empathy that you simply have. Why there is no crash out from my side in terms of my brother. There is no need to clip him up and illustrate how he's losing his mind and flaring and foaming from it. There's no need to do that. It's much better if we explain the process, what we've seen, the TMT on full display. These narratives help us interpret our past, navigate the present, and imagine the future. The idea of death as an endpoint to that narrative can be deeply unsettling. The fact that it came out of nowhere, there was no preceding conversation, and the complete narrative that we are antisocial, and this is a presentation that I have prepared. I guess in terms of the antisocial or the denying of the human experience, or the idea that I or the pseudo killers have a God complex, I guess a presentation that I just had laying there sort of speaks for itself. The idea of death as an endpoint to that narrative can be deeply unsettling. The psychological discomfort arises from the thought that our personal story might simply end, leaving no trace beyond the impact of those around us. fear of oblivion, the fear that once we die, we are forgotten. Let me call the pseudo killers, because calling them out and going batshit crazy on the pseudo killers is gonna ease my fears. It's gonna make me secure in my belief system. The fear that once we die, we are forgotten and our existence was ultimately meaningless is one of the strongest existential anxieties people face. I am flattered, honestly. I'm someone that maintains and keep both feet on the ground. I truly believe in just being just normal partner. I have a brother, my younger brother. He is a real big shot. But you be a big shot around your own family, bro. Like that ain't necessary, bro. Like you're my kid, brother. I mean, in terms of social status, we right there. I'm maybe a little bit more relevant than you. You're a big dog, but you need to carry yourself like a big dog all day, every day. Bro, chill out. That's me. I laugh at myself. I make videos without my shirt on. I don't care. What I am, what I do is not what I am. So I don't care you call me a janitor. So what if I was? I love cleaning. That's why I went and studied chemistry and biochemistry, because I always used to be watching, wondering what was the meaning of those words behind the chemical bottles. As a kid, I always used to love to clean the bathroom. So call me a janitor. I don't care. This is sometimes called existential death anxiety. It is not just about physical cessation of life, but the idea that our narrative, the meaning we've created, will fade out into nothingness. Bobo Rasta dread, me nah go nowhere. Bun, fire, bun. Craving continuity. This craving for continuity can lead people to seek out ways to transcend their mortality. The fact that you seeked out the pseudo killers, called out the God killer, and myself as a means of establishing your immortality says a whole lot. We create stories, beliefs, and tradition that promise some form of continuity. This epic display of a crash out is going to go down in history. Whether it's through the idea of an afterlife, the legacy we leave behind, or the enduring influence we have on others. And you had and have an enduring influence on everyone that watches you crash out, my
We are all going to die. And the pressure we feel from the realization of this brutal fact of life is called death anxiety. Death anxiety is the realization that our existence is forever overshadowed by the knowledge that while we all will have our moment in the sun to grow and blossom, which is nice, inevitably, you and all the people that you know will succumb to the hand of Father Time, and eventually will die and diminish into nothingness. Philosopher Epicurus believed that our fear of death was the leading cause of our own misery. And because of this, the looming inevitability of us ceasing to exist interferes with our enjoyment of life and leaves no pleasure undisturbed. To protect ourselves over our lifetime, many of us develop an array of methods to ameliorate our fear of death. Some methods require us to engage in shaky, frenetic, and aimless activities, while others offer a more effective way of helping us deal with our death anxiety.
You see, so again, when I look at these crash outs, having gone through the exercise of preparing and studying this material for myself as a means of understanding the human experience much better, you see why I'm not emotionally attached to that display that our good brother Zion was having. He is in the height of his personal existential crisis, and he does not have the mechanisms and the tools to cope. So everything you see here, mind you, this was a presentation already prepared. Xion gave us a classic, real-time example of everything we're seeing here. I appreciate my brother. Social and cultural narrative. From a social and cultural perspective, that also creates a rupture in the communal fabric. Societies respond to this disruption in various ways by creating rituals, beliefs, and systems that attempt to buffer the shock of loss and provide meaning to the lives of the deceased. Pour one up for your homie. Religious narratives. Many religions offer the promise of immortality or an afterlife, providing both individuals and communities with the assurance that death is not the end. On the third day he rose again, and so shall you. These beliefs are a source of comfort as they offer continuity beyond the individual's life. We will see you on the next side, my brother. The idea of an eternal soul or a reunion with loved ones in the afterlife helps maintain a sense of purpose in the face of mortality. Rituals and commemorations, social rituals surrounding death, funerals, murals, anniversaries, help provide a structure for mourning and processing loss. These rituals can also serve as a way to keep the memory of the deceased alive in the community, reinforcing the idea that their stories continue in some form. It's why most cemeteries are not really put out of the way. They're always in an area where you gotta pass by. You gotta be reminded of the ones that came before. Often prime real estate. Cultural legacy. Even outside of religious context, people often seek to leave behind a legacy, whether through children. Yeah, I got 7 of them. Contributions to society. I don't speak about those much, but I've put in and continue to put in work in my community in any form or fashion. Like even the simple YouTube video, the Facebook videos that I make with training my animals, is to just foster a change in people's understanding and how they deal with the animals. And today, I got a video sent to me from a young man working his bird. He's training her to follow him around. He said, it's from watching your videos. And that's just a little simple thing I put out there. I've carried my community on my back during COVID. But I need to talk about these things because when you do work for your community, you just do the work. Or lasting work in a particular field. This desire for legacy is deeply tied to the need for symbolic immortality, the idea that while the individual body may die, their influence, their impact, their ideas live on in the world and continue to shape the future. We all have that desire. Find a positive and constructive way to leave a legacy. Shock value, ridiculousness, sticking out as a sore thumb, those things don't last. The role of memory and storytelling. Memory and storytelling are powerful tools we use to bridge the gap between life and death. By remembering and retelling stories about individuals who have passed, we ensure that their influence continues. Stories of the deceased can provide comfort to the living, offering both a way to process grief and to maintain a connection to the person who has died. Collective memory. Communities engage in collective memory making, whether through oral traditions, written records, or cultural celebrations of the dead. Cinco de Mayo. In many ways, the community becomes the guardian of the individual's legacy, preserving their identity beyond the physical world. The need for meaning. Ultimately, the drive to create narrative around death is about meaning. I understand that. We are meaning-making beings, and that forces us to confront the possibility that our meaning may come to an abrupt and final end. By creating stories, rituals, and systems of belief, we soften the harshness of this reality and find ways to contribute beyond our physical limits, or at least in the eyes of others, or in the legacy we leave. I made a video today putting hunter and prey together. I got bird face to face with a dog that is already in the process of being trained in personal protection, being trained to bite. His prey drive is being stimulated every day. At the same time, an animal of prey is right in front of his face. Now, the fact that I can do that, legacy. The drive for continuity isn't limited to just religious or cultural narratives. It's also found in the personal stories we tell ourselves. Individuals often reflect on their lives as a series of meaningful events, each contributing to a larger narrative. Death represents the final chapter in that story. And so the desire for continuity is rooted in the need to feel that our life had purpose. Existential crisis. Did your life have purpose? Does it have purpose? Look back right now. You're proud of your accomplishments? Can you name them? Can you expound them? Or you're still busy writing legislation from your living room? On the other hand, I have produced legislation, legacy. I've produced a national laboratory. The name, the paperwork, I always have my name on it. I know that already. I'm good. And so the desire for continuity is really going to need to feel that our life had purpose, that our narratives matter, and that even if the body ceases, our story doesn't truly end.
When you die, you go to another life. Maybe heaven, maybe purgatory, maybe hell, who knows? I think nowadays, though, the more general idea, the more plausible idea to many people is that when we die, we just cease to be. That's all there is to it. But in the Eastern world, there are different ideas of this. The major Eastern idea is what is generally known as reincarnation. It isn't a belief in something which we can't believe. It's really quite a self-evident notion. Being reborn again is exactly the equivalent of somebody else being born, because we have no consciousness of our continuity unless we have memory, a particular set of memory standards. Death is not the end of consciousness.
Alan Watts. If you ain't familiar with Alan Watts, if you haven't taken these deep dives, I suggest you don't really try and mess with me psychologically.
So Ced, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So we're going deep into this, right? Now, I noticed a lot of individuals, I'm not going to say incapable, because I don't believe anyone's incapable of doing anything, right? I believe anyone can put their mind to something if they read or take the time to comprehend. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
comprehend, then contend. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. I've noticed, now you're making old boy sound crazy as hell. I ain't gonna lie. You're making them sound nuts, and it's scaring me. You know what I'm saying? It's scaring me. But without that being said, right now, I notice in your conversation, you're not downplaying religion. You're going strategically on scientific discovery and what science views the afterlife as. Science has no evidence. And I've noticed that there was another person that you were supposed to debate that had a similar argument. But from what I notice, these sources that you're pulling from, these individuals are people that studied death to the T, right? To the biological process, to the beginning and final stages. Why is it that most individuals don't use this type of research, in your opinion?
Because it is easier to hold on to a 4th century philosophy, which gives them comfort. All right, the idea of a soul, the idea of continuity, is rooted in the human experience. That's why this whole narrative here is explaining the psychological need for these religious and cultural narratives. It's not necessarily grounded in reality, but it is a tool that comforts, especially when human beings who are so aware of our mortality go through that existential crisis. Many are not able to cope with the reality of it, and then is primarily when you see a surge in their religiosity, a surge in their zealousy, right? Why are you spazzing out? Oh, okay. Is that existential religious crisis, a life crisis that is taking place. So that's why everything that I'm expounding on here, you can actually see it in real time because it was just a couple of days ago. So it's fresh. So that's why I'm exploring the psychology behind this. So again, to make claims that the pseudo killers are anti-religion, don't deal with, but have these. How can you make any of the claims you made, including God complex, when these are the type of presentations that we do? I simply decided 5 minutes ago this would be the best approach. I do not have any need for kick a dead horse. I'm just explaining why you saw what you saw.
But it's still fun to kick a dead horse.
Yeah. Every now and then.
Every now.
So this drive for continuity isn't limited to just religious or cultural narrative. It also found in personal storytelling. Ourselves, individuals often. Oh no, sorry, done that. Sorry, let's keep the show moving.
Yes, sir.
Moral reinforcement. I'm gonna skip grief management because I think that pretty much speaks for itself. The moral reinforcement. Good people go to heaven, bad people burn. Again, isn't this a sort of the undertone that was pretty much on display? Belief in an afterlife, especially when paired with the concept of moral judgment, for example, the righteous being rewarded and the wicked being burned of Babylon, after fire burn, that's what he says, serves as a form of moral reinforcement. He's the good guy. I'm gonna go to heaven. Them pseudo killers, God killer, they evil. These are evil people. You can't have a dialogue with them. They're demonic. The more emphasis he puts on the words is more moral reinforcement.
I
looked at the video. I studied the psychology. What he was saying was incoherent. So it was more about what was the state of mind. The idea that there is divine justice, where one's actions during life determines their fate in the afterlife, can encourage ethical behavior by framing morality in terms of ultimate consequences, or a misguided sense of ethics, where red herring, straw manning, ad homs, belligerency is the tool by which you reinforce your moral compass, your high ground. They don't believe. And I do, folks. I'm appeal to the masses. We the most religious folks out here. Them pseudo killers be on some demon time. It can also provide people with a sense of order and justice, even when things seem unfair in the temporal world. This can create a framework where good deeds are intrinsically linked to the hope of reward. Babylon got me hold on. Babylon got me oppressed. But God is going to reward me in the afterlife. Somebody say amen. While bad deeds carry the threat of punishment, which motivate individuals to align with societal moral codes, the hijacking that the God Killer was talking about, a tool to force people into organized systems so that we can create these overwhelming colossals we call societies today. Every positive has its negative. Secularism is moving away from these tools to keep social cohesion. It is more based in a system where we seek to apply as little as possible restrictions to quote unquote free will. And if you look at society, every generation is moving more and more towards that. The idea of slavery, which is quantified and codified in the Bible, is completely immoral by modern standards. Just saying. Social cohesion, shared beliefs create tribal bonds. So when you talk about, you say, they don't know. Look it right here. You're not bringing nothing new to the table. Just simply being belligerent. We know all these things. Religious beliefs, especially those concerning the afterlife, can foster social cohesion by creating shared values, rituals, and narratives that bind people together. A common belief in life after death can strengthen group identity. Don't worry, son. You're going to see her on the next side. She'll be waiting for you at the pearly gates. She went home with God. And when God calls you home, y'all going to be reunited. And when you hug her spirit and y'all pass straight through each other, you will know that there's no physicality on the other side. A common belief in life after death can strengthen group identity as it creates shared worldviews that individuals within the group subscribe to. This unity, grounded in belief, creates a collective sense of purpose, belonging, and security. I know human beings, right? Most of us have the need for security, right? Especially when we're scared. And if you just look at the brother's facial expression, you can see the fear in his eyes. Scared of dying. It also reinforces social norms and values by aligning them with the perceived will of a higher power. Over time, these shared beliefs become deeply ingrained in cultural tradition. Didn't I say we cannot separate ourselves from a societal structure of belief? I'm no fool to that. I celebrate Christmas the way thing. I ain't gonna take the day off. Don't mean I believe no virgin birth. Why would I believe in such a ridiculous idea? Why would I believe that God has a chosen people and a Messiah to save them as if it had anything to do with us? I don't need to hold on to any ideas that were imposed on the world by a peninsula, a small little peninsula out there in Europe. The Iberian Peninsula decided that the world would get split between the two nations that share the peninsula. And I, in 2025, need subscribe to the concepts of the papal bull? Well, I'll be a damn fool now, wouldn't I? At the same time, claiming to be pro-black, pro-African, yet promote the philosophy that enslaved our ancestors, took away our identity, took away our culture, our traditions, our belief system, our burial practices. The only recourse we had was to grab the one thing that they were using. And again, after 2-3 generations, we didn't even know our Uncle properly. All we knew was they talk about this dude named Jesus. They got this book. Let's grab that. Because we were how you say, ingenuitive. We had the historical root in us to use what was in our environment to promote our survival. Don't mean that nonsense has any relevance to any of us here today. Stop promoting black and holding on to the papal bull tradition. You gotta be out of your mind. Over time, these shared beliefs become deeply ingrained in cultural traditions and can serve as a foundation for communal life, helping maintain societal order and stability. That's what the Black church did. Yeah, I understand all that. I don't deny none of it. What use it is to us today? Go do your statistics. Please, come check me out. We're almost there. I'm taking my time with this one.
Take your time. Take your time.
Power structures, weaponizing of fear and hope. Power structures, weaponizing of fear and hope. I'm going to do my Umar Johnson tonight. Power structures, weaponizing of fear and hope. You got to say it 3 times to make it stick. The afterlife, particularly the concept of heaven and hell, has historically been used by elites and religious leaders to maintain control over population. The afterlife, particularly the concept of heaven and hell, has historically been used by elites and religious leaders to maintain control over populations. Now, let me hit you with a little conspiracy theory. You don't think it's for a reason they were making sure you didn't get that book, knowing it would make you want that book, knowing that the moment you get your hands on that book would put them again in a position of control? By promoting fear of hell or the promise of paradise. Just think about it. Religious authorities can manipulate followers' actions and beliefs. Examples include indulgence. During the Middle Ages, the Catholic Church sold indulgences, which promised to reduce the time spent in purgatory, thereby leveraging the fear of hell to raise funds for the church. This system allowed religious leaders to profit from people's anxiety about the afterlife. You see, I'm a past collection played around by now. You know what I mean? It's that time I'm going to pray for your souls. Where I'm going to ask Jesus to open his heart, to let you in. The pearly gates of heaven. You ain't getting in there by your doing, because all I've seen, only Jesus can get you in. Pass that collection playing around. Jihadism and martyrdom. In some instances, religious leaders have exploited the promise of paradise to motivate individuals to take extreme actions, such as martyrdom. Yeah, they have an afterlife reward for sacrificing one's life in the service of a religious cause. has been a key driver for radical movements, often in the form of jihadism. These beliefs are used to manipulate emotions and rally people to fight for a cause. We talk about jihadism, but don't forget the Knights Templars and the conquest of the Holy Land. No te olvida la Inquisición Español. Don't forget these things either. These beliefs are used to manipulate emotions and rally people to fight for the cause. Fire burn upon Babylon. Kill them pseudo killers, promising them eternal bliss in return for their sacrifice. Control over behavior. In general, religious leaders and institutions can wield significant power by controlling the narrative surrounding the afterlife, dictating what is required to achieve salvation, and threatening eternal punishment for non-compliance. This is when they start to bat their eyes left and right, scared, afraid of being punished for the evil thoughts that they have. And they hold on to their God a little bit harder. This can consolidate their authority and maintain societal control, particularly when the belief in an afterlife is deeply woven into the fabric of the culture. Y'all need to really grasp how deep the psychological effects that you see on display by these individuals that be crashing out all over Facebook, YouTube. I'm home playing with my birds, training my doggy, and up comes the pseudo killer says science and religion. Huh? What? 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 Who? What? What's wrong with you? Are you okay? Belief in the afterlife serves emotional regulation, not truth finding. Hey, belief in an afterlife serves emotional regulation, not truth finding. As I pointed out, the belief in an afterlife is not necessarily about seeking the truth, but about managing emotions, primarily the fear of death, suffering, and the unknown. In times of personal and societal crisis, belief in an afterlife can provide comfort and a sense of control, offering an emotional anchor in the face of mortality. You see why we had a purely and total emotional meltdown by two grown men. Nobody actually cares. And you're gonna be Zion like a lion in Zion. Dun, 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 dun. I'm gonna be iron like a lion in Zion. Nobody cares. Losing their utter shit because I don't believe in none of the nonsense. I don't have a problem with you believing it. Go right ahead. Why are you mentioning science? Science over there in a fortress, minding its own business, never making a claim for and of your God, never needing to interject one in any hypothesis, in any calculation, in any test whatsoever. Never have, never will. Yet you over here freaking out about dying, and all of a sudden, science, science, right? Like science. We don't care. Not relevant to our endeavor. Run along. Go play over there. Sing now, sing in chorus. For the Bible tells me so. The idea that life continues in some form after death serves to reassure individuals that their lives have meaning beyond the temporary physical existence. It allows people to face the inevitable of their own mortality with hope and comfort rather than dread. You don't have to dread to be Rasta. This is not a dreadlocks thing. It's a divine conception of the heart. From a psychological perspective, the afterlife serves as a coping mechanism, helping individuals to find peace in the face of existential anxiety. Take deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. It's going to be okay. Whether it's the desire to avoid the unknown or the hope for ultimate justice, these beliefs provide emotional regulation and a way to process the fear and uncertainties that comes within living in an infinite and in a finite world. Deal with it, we're gonna die. How you cope is on you. But the crash out, the losing your mind, it's not gonna make it any less real. In summary, the belief in an afterlife is far more complex than just a search for truth. It plays a crucial role in managing grief, reinforcing mortality, fostering social cohesion, consolidating power, and providing emotional comfort. Now, the fact that I serve as a pacifier, again, I'm deeply honored. The fact that your immortality is rooted in the pseudo killers is flattering. It fulfills the psychological needs for continuity, meaning, and hope, especially when faced with the stark reality of death. The way it is used by religious institutions for social control and to manipulate fear and hope is an important aspect to consider. Think about that. You've been lied to. You've been hijacked. You've been hoodwinked, my brother. You're gone dead. And you're now if you come back. Especially in understanding the broader societal function of these beliefs. It is because the pseudo killers and myself accept and deal with these narratives is the reason I am not upset, I'm not angry, I am not emotionally moved. I found a great opportunity to explain the phenomena that we saw. It was like looking at a nature program without the sound on. Just a wild and obnoxious animal running around, sounding all crazy. No one understood what was going on. The incoherency of the whole build was ridiculous within itself. As I stated, why argue a flawed premise? Your argument is rooted in a false equivalency. You can never equate religion to science. Your whole meltdown was rooted in your TMT. All the classic psychological triggers and characteristics and symptoms were on full display. I'm sorry. Common claims of life after death, near-death experiences. Prove life after death. Claim people who have near-death experience report seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, meeting deceased loved ones, or experiencing a profound sense of peace. True, all true. They say that they experience these things and they experience these things. What these experiences mean, however, something else is a whole other conversation. These experiences are often presented as evidence of life after death. No, 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 slow down. Pump those brakes. Suggesting that consciousness survives physical death. No, 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 no. Bullshit, bullshit. Counter. Physiological explanations, as mentioned earlier, near-death experience is more likely to be caused by physiological processes, particularly brain activity during extreme stress or oxygen deprivation. Studies suggest that the feeling of moving through a tunnel or encountering a light could be the result of changes in brain chemistry, such as hypoxia, the lack of oxygen, neurotransmitter surges, and the brain's attempt to make sense of the trauma. No evidence of consciousness after that. Again, no evidence of consciousness after that. My Umar Johnson, I got to say 3 times, no evidence of consciousness after death. Despite the vivid experiences people report during near-death experiences, there's no evidence to suggest that consciousness continues after biological death. Again, despite the vivid experiences people report during near-death experiences, there is no evidence to suggest that consciousness continues after biological death. Near-death experiences happen while the brain is still functioning. Near-death experiences happen while the brain is still functioning. Near-death experiences happen while the brain is still functioning, even if in a limited capacity. Once the brain ceases all function, there is no measurable consciousness or awareness. How long was that? Do you remember, class? Type in the chat 6 minutes. Cultural influence. Near-death experiences are often shaped by the individual's cultural and religious background. For instance, people from religious backgrounds may report meeting religious figures like Jesus or angels, while others may have different interpretations. This suggests that near-death experiences are influenced more by psychological and cultural factors than by evidence of an afterlife. Wouldn't you say, Charlie? Ain't that some bullshit? Ain't that what, Charlie? What you tell me, Charlie? What, you mean, Charlie, it's over? Done. Just like before you were born, never was done. Just don't know. Just not. Oh, okay. I'm good with that. The soul leaves the body at death. Many religious and spiritual traditions teach that the soul separates from the body upon death and enters another realm, such as heaven, hell, or reincarnation. No empirical evidence. No meaning a negative, not empirical meaning physical, tangible, measurable would constitute evidence. Evidence is the thing that supports something you're claiming. No empirical evidence. There is no scientific evidence for the existence of a soul. And if there is no scientific evidence for the existence of a soul, then there is no conversation to be had about a soul. Soul can then mean anything we want it to be. And a soul for me right now is mango season, because that is soul to me. Every morning, my breakfast is a fresh mango off a tree. Soul. Since there's no evidence, don't argue with me. I can make the hell up what I want. And you ain't got shit to say about it. The idea of a soul is a theological and philosophical concept. not one grounded in observable, testable phenomena. Soul is mango. And if you think anything else, you will burn in hell. I said it, and if you don't believe it, you are going to die tonight. I am the authority, and I get to make up what it is. As long as there is no empirical evidence, we all get to decide. And since I'm the shit, I've decided soul is mango. Don't argue with me. I'll send the Inquisition after your ass. The process of dying and decomposition are purely biological, with no measurable departure from any non-material essence. Brain function and consciousness. The brain is responsible for consciousness. Done. End of argument. I don't want to hear any other of your spooked out nonsense, which is unsupported by empirical evidence. That's just a bunch of jibber jabber that ain't leading to nowhere. I'm down with Dr. Ced the. Argue with him. Argue with Susan Blackmore. Don't argue with me. Get out of my face. Thought and personality. The brain is responsible for consciousness, thought, and personality. When the brain ceases to function at death, so too does conscious awareness. There is no observable or measurable phenomena that suggests an immaterial soul exists separate from the brain. I know it's hurting. I know it's okay. Take deep breaths. It's gonna be okay. I know it hurts. Yes. I know. Pastor was simply wrong. He had no bad intent. I know. Drink some water. It's gonna be okay. Open the door. Get some fresh air. Breathe. Okay, I'm gonna continue now. Okay. Historical and cultural variability. The concept of the soul and its journey after death varies greatly across cultures and religious traditions. This variability suggests that the idea of a soul is a human construct. The variability suggests that the idea of the soul is a human construct. Umar Johnson, the variability suggests that the idea of the soul, I say the idea of a soul is a human construct. That means a human construct came out of the imagination. I say it came out of the imagination. And in this case, the soul came out of the imagination of a Greek philosopher named Aristotle. I said it came out of the mind of the white man. These ideas of a soul is European. I'm batting my eyes right now because I know you didn't hear me. You're not listening, brother. I'm going to say it again. Shaped by societal and cultural influence rather than a universal truth about existence. We've been bamboozled, we've been hustled, we've been sold the white man's narrative. You ain't got a soul. There's never been a soul. Only soul is mangoes. Say it with me. Type a 1 in the chat if you know mangoes is soul. Reincarnation. People remembering past lives. Some individuals claim to have memories of past lives and that they've been reincarnated. These memories are often vivid and detailed, leading some to believe in the reality of reincarnation. False memories and psychological factors. Recollections of past lives can often be explained by psychological phenomena such as false memories, imagination, or even the influence of suggestion. Children who report past life memories may be influenced by stories they've heard, by cultural narratives, or by subconscious memories that they interpret as past life experiences. While doing this exercise, I remembered. I used to believe that I was a part of the Knights of the Round Table. I believe that I used to live in those times. There was all the movies, I was attracted to them as a kid. I used to just feel like I was there. It is part of natural process for kids. A lot of these stories come from India, where reincarnation is part of their culture. The leading scientists that collected the data made sure to say everyone, Dr. Stevens, that this is not evidence of reincarnation. Lack of verifiable evidence. Despite many claims of reincarnation, there's no verifiable evidence that someone has lived a past life. Studies attempting to document reincarnation have failed to provide concrete evidence that could distinguish between genuine recollections of past lives and ordinary memory or imagination. Cultural influence. The belief in reincarnation is largely tied to specific religious and cultural contexts, particularly in Hinduism, Buddhism, and some New Age beliefs. The content of past life memories often align with the individual's cultural understanding and expectations, suggesting these are culturally conditioned rather than evidence of an actual past life. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it there. I guess I've driven my point home that what we saw the other night was a display of pure emotion, of non sequitur rhetoric, all because the good brother was having an existential crisis.
Man.
His TMT was in full activation.
The TM, going parts of the brain now, bro.
Yeah. Trauma management theory. He was dealing with an existential crisis. His fear of death was on display. And I've taken the time to break down what the psychological process is that we saw. We saw him, all the emotion in the height of his crisis. So there was no need to slow down, chop him up. It was an opportunity to just educate, as pseudo killers do. And I appreciate the opportunity and the platform. Again, this was a series, part 5 of the series. You can check out the whole series on the pseudo killers, where we explore these concepts of soul and where they came from, and how they got established. These metaphysical claims are not grounded in anything real, right? My good brother, you're gonna be okay. It's really gonna be okay.
Hey, this was some. I ain't never. This was the most politest way to tell a person they nuts. Like, I mean, like, I don't know if the crowd really listened to what he said, but we're gonna have to talk about this behind the scenes, right? But check this out, Ced. Okay, so damn. All right, so yeah, man, you and you an islander too, bro. That mango shit, y'all love them damn mangoes. Mango is life, like yeah. That.
Tell me, argue with me. My breakfast for 2 months straight is mangoes fresh off the tree at 10 to 6 when I leave my house around the corner. Fresh mangoes. That's my breakfast.
You pick them from the
Tell
tree
me
yourself?
Mangoes isn't life. Explain to me how mangoes isn't soul, and I'll send the Inquisition in your ass. I'll have you stretched out, tortured, and drowned, mother.
Boy, y'all, hey. and I know it's personal because the love of mango is life on the island.
Yo.
The person will get their ass beat over a damn mango. You
Yeah,
know?
bro.
I mean, I'm not playing, but I've seen this before. Damn, this is wild. I ain't think. All right, yeah, I'm gonna. Hey, mangoology, ladies and gentlemen, mangoology. We got to study mangoology. I just made it up.
Say it, Craig. You wasn't prepared for this.
I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't. It got me thinking. I got to talk with Ratchet about this. I got to. God damn, this is. So, man. So anyway, let's let me get. Yeesh. So check it out, Ced. Yeah, that was horrible. That was. I mean, Miss Heru made it worse. You know, it was cold, calm, and collective. Very calculative. The precision was precise. I mean, it was. You made him seem, and I don't like using big words, but you know, hell. But you made him seem everything he did superfluous. I mean, and for those who don't know what that means nothing.
Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Non sequitur.
And it was so I mean, you know, to him in his defense, all right, he is a debater. He does believe what he believes, okay? And you know, he must have had a reason to call you out.
Yes, I know. It was a moment where his existential crisis was at its peak. And to solidify his mortality and immortality, he referenced who he sees as his gods. The God Killer and the Pseudo Slayer.
And then Lucifer. So he had a trinity.
He was a necessity to ground his existence, to justify his belief, was to attack those most worthy.
So you're telling
it is flattery. I cannot be upset. Rent free.
So he deified the three of you in an instant as an adversarial god. Gods, an anti-trinity.
The projection in his diatribe. We have God complexes. No, we don't. That presentation was clear that I'm firmly rooted in reality. Subject to the human experience.
I've seen God complexes. I've seen it. Ratchet and me have seen God complexes. We've met individuals on the internet that, you know, Heru know them too, that think they were the next Messiah, right? That think they was Adam. Matter of fact, Ratchet and me, we couldn't get this dude on, but one dude said that he was like I forgot which angel he said he was. I think he said he was the Angel Michael. You know they love saying they're the Angel Michael. And the other guy said that he was the commanding angel. So we were trying to get these two dudes together so they can brawl on the channel, but it never happened. You know what I'm saying? One dude said, you know, another guy said he was Jonathan. Another guy said he was David one time, reincarnated. And you know, Ratchet was trying to get them together. He was really trying to get them together. He was trying to get them together and ask them some questions. You know, the wrong type of questions. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's all those are God complexes. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff right there. You know, I'm the chosen one, all that stuff. We ran into that on the internet multiple times. I've seen it. Very interesting. I don't know what the hell diagnosis it is, but it's something wrong with those people. But I mean, for people who don't believe in a God, right? Like you and Unc, y'all don't believe in a God. I can't see how you guys got a God complex. If you could put any other complexes in there, maybe a hero complex, a superiority complex. You know, I can't even see the superiority complex because you guys don't act like you're superior. You try to be down to earth as much as possible, right? And that's just from my, you know,
Yeah.
Like if you can put that on anyone in the pseudo killers just by how Juju swings when she cuts people, I guess you can say that. But then again, it's a stretch because she will let you know she's no better than anyone. You know what I'm saying? But if you can mistake it, that's how I can give it to him at first, but it won't be permanent. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I mean, no offense to Juju, but you see how how it is. You know what I'm saying? How she slay a person, I can see when it can be like the superior because it's there because it's there. Sage got it too, it's like
shout out to my big little sister Sage.
Yeah, she got it too. But she'll even say she's hold on. Well, never mind. I take it back with her. I take it back with no, okay, never mind. I give it back to her. All right. But my point is it's impossible how individuals would try. It always intrigues me how, because I talk with Unc about this privately about how Unc just want to have a conversation, right? He just want to have it. I get it, but I told him, I said, listen, bro, your history, where the hell you was at, what you were known for. I'm a Raw Squad, Kofi Paisa research team, et cetera, Now you're over here, pseudo killers, the skeptics, community skeptics. Okay, like you got a big target on your back, brother. I'm sorry, you like Deion Sanders. You feel me?
Yeah, it is. Again, we have to, and it's a growth process to learn to navigate these waters. There are some fights that are worthy to fight, but the fights that are worthy to fight aren't really fights.
Right.
When you reach and it's not an attempt to sound arrogant. When you have reached a certain level of understanding, when you have equipped yourself with a bag of tools that allows you to you tend to not want to beat up people anymore. There's no fun in it. You see the flaws in reasoning. Oh brother, I was there. I used to think that I can finish your sentence. Let me show you where you're wrong. It is much more productive to that individual in terms of their growth if they would allow themselves that space. However, there is something about us as a culture that we love to get our positions beat out of us. We engage scholastically in fight mode. It is not often that it is the reason we had a debate about a capital A and a lowercase a. A part versus a part.
So, all right. So this is the thing. This is the thing right here. Now, man, damn, this is horrible. Okay, so Ced, check this out, right? So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the actual side of Cedric, right? That makes him one of the greatest humanists I've ever seen, right, in the community. Now, a lot of people, humanitarians. I'm sorry. I think I said it wrong, but
humanists as well, yeah.
Okay, all right. So check it out. This is why I say this, because a lot of people don't understand how caring these individuals are. Now, I know a lot of people have not met scientists. I stay in Dallas, so I meet everybody from the celebrities, from the athletes, to the scientists. I get to meet everybody. And to be honest with you, if you run into a lot of scientists, right? A lot of scientists are anti-racist, right? They don't enjoy any form of actual religion being used to control people. They want the betterment for humanity, and they also push for, how can I put it? We are evolving, but they push for progress, right? Yeah. They have a one-track mind and going forward, right? Now, they don't really have time for the white man science and all of this and all that. Those are all rumors and stuff like that. If you want the white man science, go back in time to the early days where religion and the scientific world was connected. And, you get to see that. When they say we was like, 3/4 human or something like that back in the day, said, like, if you really want that white man science, that's white man science. You can see white man hatred all over that. You feel me? But man, so here's the thing. One thing I did not like, and I will not tolerate on Paradigm Shift TV 314, if you call out someone, especially a champion, call out someone, give that person you called out a chance to speak and address themselves and address you for the call out, especially if you put their title in the name. It's only respectful. It's only respectful. It's only right. What happened that other time, you know what I'm saying, on the panel, that was just totally unprofessional. You know, Cedric over here, he's not only just a pseudo killer, he's not just a professional. He is our champion. As a matter of fact, JJ came in the chat. JJ came and said, "Yo, Cedric, my champion, it's time for you to debate Xion. He wants to debate you. My champion." JJ, he's not your champion. He's not your champion, JJ. We've been over this. He's not your champion. Stop. Cedric took the Lion's Den belt from you. Remember, you had him suspended. You suspended him over some BS, and you took it. We just put a little bit more gold and silver on the dang belt, and his belt is only good here. It's not good in the Lion's Den. We took the name and everything. You know, yeah.
The only place you come and get that is here.
Yeah.
And you see, to step up to this, you gotta be a heavyweight. I've earned the right to call myself a heavyweight. Bring your A game and bring your best. Not individuals in the middle of their TMT.
Yeah, that's, hey, a lot of people gonna be using that now. From now on, TMT. You know, I'm gonna be saying, "Hey, bro, you on that TMT, ain't you?" You know what I'm saying? But I could say this though. I mean, it's just that's just one thing, JJ. Respectfully, brother, you know what it is, JJ. You know what it is. I've been seeing you going around talking about my champion said. You and said haven't talking forever, JJ. Come on, man. Come off it. He ain't your champion, brother. He's his own man. He's his own goddamn champion. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, don't disgrace the name.
Let me say this, folks. I wear many hats, right? And I'm a team player, so I adjust and I take up my role in each environment that I'm in. I'm a stage and movie actor with 25 years experience. I've received different awards, accolades on stage. I've been compared to greats like Sean Diddy Combs and Sidney Poitier for their roles in A Raisin in the Sun. Right, I've done classics like that on stage. I've hosted and produced morning variety shows, news shows. I'm a biochemical technologist. I've written legislations. I've produced institutions. I'm a father. I work with animals. No human being is one-sided, right? And when you hear the silly thing that some of these people say, it is again yet more evidence of a certain level of mental instability, right? With that, I want everybody to follow my page. Watch me work with animals. Watch me work with my birds and my dogs. Subscribe to the Pseudo Killers, where you are going to get presentations of this caliber on a regular. If you were tuned in and already subscribed, you would have already been able to follow this conversation and follow this information. Of course, the community of skeptics is another place where we challenge the narrative We are not about white man science, African. We are about science. We do not deny anyone's cultural containers. However, being part of the community where people are bamboozled, hustled, scammed, hoodwinked because of their ignorance to science, it is our job. We are necessary in this community. When you got institutions like the NOI selling placebos in the height of the AIDS epidemic, when you have a bunch of nuts out here telling you to drink cranberry juice and goat water in the middle of a pandemic, a novel virus which was killing people by the thousands a day, we are necessary in this community. I ain't got nothing to do with your God. Keep your God. What I am going to do is stand up for science and teach science and scientific literacy. It is the tool to help you vaccinate your mind against a lot of the bullshit that you've been sold in this community.
And check this out. Now, one thing I am tired of said, I ain't gonna lie. Now, you know, I can call you a janitor. I can call you the greatest janitor on the planet. I can call you that shit. But today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this man ain't no motherfucking janitor. Now, Ced, please tell people your proper title. Please tell people what you've done during the COVID epidemic. You have to tell people what it is. You gotta come clean. This man ain't no general. I mean, no general of janitors. He ain't no motherfucking goddamn groundskeeper. He ain't no dog breeder. I mean, he doesn't breed dogs, you know. But come on, man, you gotta tell people what you is, because a lot of individuals they see they see the islander, they see the island, they see the tropical hotel. They think you're just a manager at the hotel, and they play these little they play these little lies, right? Because now you done showed me what the hell you do. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know that house you got back there, you built that brick by brick yourself. You see what I'm saying? So we gotta be honest, brother. Tell the community what the Cedric Ortega does. Please, brother.
I am my academic training is I have a bachelor's degree in bioanalytical chemistry. After my college years, I returned home. I worked 3 years in the national laboratory, and then I became a public health specialist. During those 14 years, you were trained in field epidemiology, project management. During my 3 years at the lab, I also did medical university programs in immunology and serology. So during my tenure at the lab, I was in charge of immunology and serology. In my public health career, I started off as a general inspector in public health. So I did all the training and programs for food safety management and HACCP project management and writing. I developed the legislation to introduce food safety nationwide, where all people working in the food industry have to be certified. I developed the legislation, developed the training program, and that's legislation. So it's a ongoing piece of national. It's law. You're required to do that based on the legislation I wrote.
So you're telling me white people called you, your black ass. They called your black ass for the island of St. Martin. So they called you not to clean up shit, not to be a janitor, but to fix the infrastructure and food. And they had a lot of info on you and your credentials, and they nominated you out of all the people on the island as the man for the job.
I was working as a senior policy / public health inspector in the hygiene and veterinary department that became the national inspector. So the body of people that write laws and put policies in place. I wrote national policies. I wrote national laws. So I wrote, I adjusted the national law for water safety. I implemented the monitoring program, and I established the laboratory system, national laboratory, to execute not only environmental analysis, but also medical analysis. So that's a piece of legislation and project that also lives. I created during the pandemic, based on my years working in public health. I wasn't working at the time. Medical issues. I had a stroke. I was home. When the pandemic came around, I've previously been part of the national response team for MERS and SARS, and we were getting prepared for that pandemic to explode. It didn't. Most people were not paying attention to what was really happening with COVID. So using my social media platform, I started national campaigns. If you look up in ChatGPT or online, you'll see that I started a national campaign, Know Your Status, where I was promoting screenings. I helped wrote the strategic exit plan for the island as part of the broader team for the Minister of Public Health. I was an advisor to the Minister of Public Health. I helped write the exit plan. I also was instrumental in communicating the vaccines and how they work. So I was national spokesman for the vaccines, how they work. I also started a whole campaign to get the numbers up to our threshold. So now everything I did from a public health perspective, the legislations and systems that I implement, I now monitor from the private sector. So I am in charge of pretty much all the public health QC, fire safety, water management, drinking water management, wastewater management, pool quality, the food safety, training of staff, monitoring of systems and programs. So the janitors, they fall under my department because it's hygiene. So I determine recycling programs. I write our EpiPen policies. I write medical and health waivers. I do everything, bro. And I'm not afraid to take a mop and some chemicals where there's something that needs cleaning.
Yeah, he probably do that when he bored, but that ain't an everyday thing for this man. You know what I'm saying? Quit being modest like that, Ced. Yeah, that's the only thing like you just did. You did it when you bored. Check this out. Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, did that sound like a damn janitor to you? Did that sound like a dog breeder? Did that sound like a fucking manager at a fucking hotel? But like, yes, sir, check into room in dorm B49. Did that sound like that? No. That sound like a man that's over the health and safety of his whole entire island. A professional, ladies and gentlemen, you know. And you know what? One thing that's so sad about our community, we would see a man like this and lie asses off because we don't like what the fuck he don't believe. That don't make sense. You see what I'm saying? That don't make a lick of goddamn sense. It does not. But see, that's the problem with us, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't like Ced doesn't care. He want people to not like him. You know what I'm saying? He won't get sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But don't lie on the man character. Don't assassinate the man. I mean, look what he does, man. Look what he does. He got a dog and a damn bird named Sammy over there singing. Sammy probably sleep right now. He was tired as hell, whistling hard. You know what I'm saying? Look at him. No, he's not. He over there bobbing and weaving. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know that bird was raised by a damn black man right there. Hey, Ced Vicious out there knocked out fucking cold. Yeah, like a motherfucker. And you know damn well, man, people need to quit lying on the champ. Quit lying on Ced, man. Quit lying on him. He's not no janitor. The man told you he's over his whole entire island of St. Martin. Very nice, beautiful place. I'm gonna go there. And hey, he got his down. Maybe he is a janitor. hey, but a lot of people just need to quit lying on this man. But just quit lying. I looked into this man's position, and he showed me a couple of things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, I just can't stand it when a person lie like that. You know what I'm saying? Cedric is the champ. He's the Lions Den champ at Paradigm Shift TV 314. You know what I'm saying? Like, he stole that belt from JJ. Actually, he ain't steal it. He beat him. He got his goat stew, made it out of JJ. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. JJ quit lying and say this is your champion. Stop doing that. Cedric liberated himself from your tyranny. He liberated yourself from your tyrannical, totalitarian zealotry, and he took the belt somewhere where it is much and greatly appreciated. Because if you don't remember, JJ, you had a debate. Is Christopher Columbus real? You were saying he was not real. Cedric said he was real. But then JJ, you went back and said he was real because of his descendants. But we're not finna get into all that. That was wild as hell.
Wild ride. Wild ride.
Cedric got that belt. That's why. That's why. Can't say the motherfucker ain't real to say his descendants real. The hell? You proved it. So anyway, there's some wild stuff. So Ced, here's the thing, right? Now you are a champion. You know, like with your belt, how it's designed in your division, you know, if anyone beats you, they take the belt. You know what I'm saying? But you can always get the belt back. But here's the thing I want to know with you, right? So you are the champion. Would you mind debating Xion Warchild?
You know me, I don't mind debating anyone. The whole thing is, I don't acquiesce to a faulty premise. And the infantile subject that these dudes come with don't warrant my attention. Again, this whole idea here was based in a faulty premise. The debate is over before it began, right? Bring a topic worthy of my interest. Let me have to at least read an article that I need to rebut you with. Not that I can just go in my bag, trick of bags, and have a presentation ready and annihilate you, right? Because of your ignorance. Yes, I'll debate anybody. That's why this belt is here. That's why the prestige is here, because I don't run from a debate. However, we are not going to do the platform nor the audience any disservice. The quality of the product got to be quality. So sit down, Xion, get your emotional cues in check, get centered, focus on a topic, forget about my physical features or what I do. I'm bragging my own horn. I got 7 baby moms. I got 7 kids and 5 baby moms.
Bad man.
At this point, I am not interested in what you think of my physical features. It's irrelevant. I don't care. I'm past the point that I'm trying or need to impress anybody. When you're 22 and you need to be your shit tight, then it's relevant. At 52 years old, what you say about my physical demeanor, So get centered, get focused, dig deep as you can. If you bring a subject that is worthy of engagement scholastically, where people can enjoy the ass whooping that I will apply, that's what we're here for, baby. But when you put on a display that requires me to go reach into my sympathy bag and explain to our audience what they were seeing, the incoherent emotional display, they needed to understand that it was your TMT in full effect. Your terror management system was rattling off. Again, flattered, ultimately flattered that this is the standard you choose to ground your emotional instability in. But if you want that ass woman, bring a subject that piques my interest. Bring a subject that requires me to actually want to do some study. Otherwise, you need to go to the back of the pile and get your weight up, son, because it's a new day. The days where you guys used to debate these frivolous topics, these empty nonsense. We have a coalition. Shout out to Heru, the pseudo killers, and Ifa. The bar has been set way, way high. Shout out to Lucifer. The bar is too high for y'all at this moment. You need to put some high heels on or stand on some real books, because that Bible ain't thick enough.
You know, say what will kill me sometimes. I can hear the sincerity and the care in your voice. You know, and it makes it so horrible, but then so poetic at the same time. It's just terrible. You know, you're a terrible person. This is. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. I'm shocked, baffled. I mean, I don't know what I just. It's just. Listen, hey, I didn't say nothing bad about you, Xion Warchild. I know you don't like me. I know you don't like me. Bro.
Neither did I. Did I. We spoke in the back, and we pledged that we would not produce one ad hoc. We would not mischaracterize. We will not strawman you in any way. And I think with all sincerity, we stuck to our guns. The opportunity was there.
It was.
You gave us all the room to take a shot, but we showed discipline and we didn't. Why? Because we are sincerely concerned about your emotional state. When we look back at that video,
I mean, you see it, but I'm not. I'm gonna be honest. I just hey, but listen. I'm not trying to. This is why I can't do shows with Ced, because I always break character sometimes. But seriously, Xion, I mean, I'm not, but it's not in a bad way. You feel me? I'm pretty sure you're all right, kind of. But what I'm saying is this. Listen, you ran your mouth. You said a lot of shit. Come take your shot at Cedric. But be warned, Cedric is very particular. He is a professional. He is a champion. He wants to see your argument. He wants to know where you're coming from. He wants to do it professionally. None of that gotcha scholarship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you, if you want to be champion, if you want to be revered, if you want to be immortal, here's your chance. Come and face Cedric Ortega. He's here. He bears the Lion's Den champion belt. He defeated JJ, the mighty GOAT, the mighty JJ. He defeated him. Mandinka Mali. He goes by Mandinka.
Shout out to MM7K.
Yeah, shout out to him for sending us Ced. Thank you, JJ. Thank you. If you want the opportunity, I'm not gonna be the one moderating it, not Ratchet. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna go nowhere near it because we know what it is. Someone else will. And you can have your time to go at Ced, to take his belt, to get all the bragging rights you want, Xion. Think about it. It's not a trick. It's your opportunity to come on a neutral platform, and debate Cedric Ortega of the Pseudo Killers, the Pseudo Slayer.
He beat JJ. Yes, your JJ. MM7K, he beat him. Are you gonna avenge him? Are you gonna avenge him?
I'm an avenge your leader.
Avenge him. I know you guys had your ups and downs, brother. I know it's been some good times and some bad times, but don't you think you owe this to JJ to get the belt back? Saw him in the chat, and he said that you wanted to debate. Think about it. And Miss Hayru, wild. I can't read her comments. She's wild. But anyway, shout out to you, sis. Shout out to you, sis. For real, for real.
Shout out to Miss Hayru Consciousness. She always got her back. And I appreciate her so much.
She wild as hell. But I'm just saying, funny as hell too. But this is my thing. This is my thing. Come debate him, Zion. Come debate him. I'm gonna unblock you. Yes, I'm gonna unblock you. So we can talk about these things. Even though you ain't gonna talk to me. But just know, brother, Craig & Craig Law Firm, we're here for you. We're here for you. Come to me.
He's gonna need some legal counseling after that.
I mean, he is the law lion. He's the law lion. He's the law lion, man.
You mean allow me to fumigate my wheel upon the weed?
Hey, man, I can't. Hey, this happened last time. I was doing a show with you. We could barely get through the show because we too busy laughing. We were too busy laughing. Hey.
Wait a minute.
Come on, man.
Wait a minute, just a second. Oh man, wait. I'm gonna mute my mic just a second. I'm right.
Oh, man, hey man, Ced is so cool, man. I never want to have no problems with this brother ever. This is the most funniest guy on the planet. But I just have to say this. Like,
share my screen. Share my screen.
Oh man.
Allow me to fumigate my wisdom on the defendant. He has been incarcerated in the propaganda of the prison structure on the issue of the code thing. Yes, and I must say here that it has been a real didactic and pragmatic experience for the young brother, as you can see by the look on his face. Can I get a witness? Oh, yes, Lord. And I must say that both physically and geographically, if he be sent to the bowels of the community, I said, if he be sent to the bowels of the community, the manifestation would be much too much for him to resign.
Now, tell me everything you heard didn't remind you of that.
Man. Hey, man. This is. Hey, bro. You gotta. Nah, you better come up here and beat the hell out of Ced, bro. He talking, bro. Come on, man.
Oh, yes.
Man.
Oh, Mr. Stewart. The last time I saw you was
you got to,
bro. Oh man. This is all I was hearing the other day.
Because he had been incarcerated in the propaganda of the prison structure on the issue of the code thing. Yes, and I must say here that it has been a real didactic and pragmatic experience for the young brother, as you can see by the look on his face. Can I get a witness? Oh, yes, Lord. And I must say that both physically and geographically,
Diane the lawyer.
To the bowels of the community. I said,
hey, man.
to the bowels of the community. The
manifestation would be much too much for him to resign. Arrest must roll on.
So you trying to say Zion a preaching lawyer? You trying to say Zion a preaching lawyer? That's what you trying to say. You trying to say he is a preacher? Hey, man.
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying when I was listening to Zion, somehow that whole diatribe came in my head. I just said, he's more money.
Hey, man. Zion, do not let Ced talk this much noise. Do not listen. Bruh, you have the opportunity to destroy a pseudo killer. You have it. And I know you don't like me and Ratchet. I know you just hate us. But damn it, bruh. Don't let your hatred for us stop you from beating Cedric. If you beat Cedric, brother, you'll be able to say you beat a pseudo killer. Not even JJ could say he beat a pseudo killer. Every time he said it, he lies his ass off. He be lying his ass off. Talking about he beat Unc. He never beat Unc. When did JJ and Unc ever debate?
Huh?
When did JJ and Unc ever debate?
Never.
Yeah. Remember JJ had that science book and was asking Unc all them damn questions after science book on Sonetta. Oh, hey,
he tried that with me too.
Oh, man.
When I answered him, he didn't even understand what was in the book.
That's not what the book says, Cedric. That's not what the book says.
Yes,
you're lying.
Shout out to Gideon Black Pseudo Killer official in the building, and shout out to Rihanna Mack as well. I appreciate everybody tuning in and dropping in to watch this intervention.
Yes, this very heartwarming.
This intervention was necessary.
Yes, it was. It was bringing the heat. You know what I'm saying? Bringing the heat with it. You know what I mean? But you know, I just had to. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. This stuff was wild. It was wild. It was wild. But I just had to say this, man. I just had to say this. There's no disrespect to JJ. You wild as hell. I mean, I already know you're gonna be. That's why I'm glad I blocked him. So I don't have to deal with the whole, JJ attacking stuff. But he'll probably get at me in another group. So I'm gonna leave all the groups in a minute. But I just gotta say, man, it was epic. It was epic. And you'll see more of Cedric. You'll see more of him. He has some presentations he has to unleash. There's gonna be some havoc. We have a lot we're doing here on Paradigm Shift TV 314. As Mr. Ortega said, we are raising the bar when it comes down to our debates, conversations. We're gonna have that. You're gonna see a lot of pseudo killers come in and jump in for the conversations. Now, warning, even though they're here, I treat the pseudo killers like regular people, so they're depowered like everybody else. You feel what I'm saying? This is the nexus point where everybody can converse and, coabulate. Now, we do have some edutainment. We do have some nigga moments sometimes. Ced ain't no wuss. You will get called a bitch ass nigga by him. Judu's not afraid to fight nobody. Unc is a Baltimore Ravens fan. That's all I can say with that. You feel me? But those are the three main individuals that most people look at when it comes down to pseudo killers, even though there's a lot more. You feel me? So,
and what you see is a collective. That's why I represent the pseudo killers, but the pseudo killers is a whole organization. Nothing you hear from me is an individual. You're seeing the work of a collective put together to present a coherent and balanced narrative, right? So whenever you come at one pseudo killer, you come at all of us. You might see me and Juju in the forefront, but we represent a whole team. You have Gideon, you have Mac Rob, you have Chilimwe, books, sources, whenever you want it, whatever you need to read. If you're too lazy to read it, ask him for a summary, and he'll give you a complete lecture. You got the God Killer, whose anthropology and grasp of evolution is next level. So when we speak from a collective. There's always the divide and conquer tactics that we see. Yeah, I doesn't agree with Cedric. Y'all need to stop. We preach unity, but y'all hate to see unity. Anytime you see cohesion, y'all try to create division. There ain't gonna be no division. I am a symbol of loyalty. I believe in loyalty. I believe in unconditional. I represent that. Once I'm here, I'm here. I'm gonna fight with minds. So I'm gonna stay right here. So y'all can do whatever you want. That only reinforces the collective. Y'all pseudos ain't got nowhere to hide. We expect a lot more spazzing out. We ready, we armed, and we equipped. Like you saw tonight, these 32 slides wasn't ready today. That's just part of a whole arsenal, part of a whole collection of work ready to knock y'all off. One by one, piece by piece. Heru is taking care of his neck of the woods. I'm taking care of mine. Pseudo killers, community of skeptics. We got this whole community on. Nowhere for you pseudos to hide. Nowhere. And right here. Don't try to run nowhere else. Don't try to backdoor me or no one else to no other obscure neck of the woods where you can rig your polls. The transparency, the system of objectivity is in place here. None of us know who the judges are, give a damn, or can do anything about it. This is the arena where you come in with what you got here and nothing else. So man up and bring it. All y'all.
Man, that's where the magic happens right here, man. That's where the magic happens right here. I ain't gonna lie. That right there, that was tough.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's number 4, if you wasn't counting. And they've all been from Southern Florida this time around. Just saying. That's the level of focus that I have. I'm just saying. I'm a scientist.
Yeah, I live in Chicago.
I practice science. I live in a state of constant observation. I mentioned I'm a scientist in the most colloquial sense just now. Just to keep that record straight. We don't want to rate no skeletons and no dead.
But you had one that was Chicago earlier. It was Chicago.
During my presentation, probably. I didn't see that.
Yeah. It was Chicago. But see, a lot of individuals, like I said, they really don't understand a person until they actually talk with them. I didn't understand the pseudo killers until I spoke with them. Now, I want to speak with all of them. I want to speak with Kickdoor Kent. You see what I'm saying? I really want to speak with him because I feel like he and that brother have a kinship. A kinship of crashing out and cussing people out. I feel like we can get along.
I'm gonna say this. There was a time where the reins needed to be put on me. I've been let go. I've been let out. Why? Because I had the sincere potential to kick all your teeth in, knock your house down, burn that shit.
Yeah.
before the conversation was over. And again, it's our brand, right? And we want to be that scholastic representation of our community. However, we do maintain the right to vandalize you, brutalize you, and kick door your house. Am I making myself clear?
He's making himself clear. Making himself clear, everyone. And that's him throwing out a challenge to anyone. But he had his stipulations, and he told you what he wanted. Said it's serious, but it's all about the fun. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the fun. You know, who doesn't like a good, healthy debate? You feel me? You know, but alas, he is a pseudo killer. Most individuals have a fear of him being an agent for the government. You know, even though the government did call him, but I don't believe he's an agent. I don't believe he's one.
I did have a badge.
So you're an agent. Does that mean Unk's an agent? Probably. You already know Juju a damn agent.
Hey, listen. To be a public health inspector means I have extraordinary powers and extraordinary authority. So yes, I was indeed an extraordinary officer. I had the right to go in to private and public property without your consent.
He's an agent.
I don't need your permission to walk into your place.
Hey, someone gonna take this, clip this, and say Cedric Ortega works for the Illuminati. It is over. He's an agent. He's an agent. He's an agent. He's an agent.
Een buitengewone agent van politie.
See, kinda. You know what I'm saying? All that. But I haven't heard that agent talking forever, but that was so funny to me. You know what I mean? But I just gotta say. It's where the magic happens, ladies and gentlemen. It's where the magic happens. We ain't playing. We ain't playing. We's not playing. You know what I'm saying? We're not. We're not playing, bro. I'm just letting you know. You understand what the hell this is. This is Paradigm Shift TV 314. But like I said, I wanted to let people understand the pseudo killers are not agents. Well, he an agent, but I want them to know they ain't agents. They ain't reptilians. Well, Unc is if you don't give my damn autograph. But they ain't agents, man. They just like you and me, right? I feel like they love black people a little too much. You feel what I'm saying? But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is with them.
Of course, I love black people, bro. Like, yeah, and sincerely, the shit that I put up with sometimes. I got this dude doing a close up of my teeth. Man, I drink coffee all day and my teeth are stained. Who gives a shit? I'm 52 years old, bro. Like, is that the level of stupidity that you need to bow down to and expect me to honestly want to engage? Then you know I gotta love black people.
I say you mean, hey, and see that's the sinister shit too. See, that's one thing about the pseudo killers. They be having fun, and then they be teaching too. That's the wild part. Now the problem with, I'm gonna tell you this has been my issue. A lot of people have been saying I'm kissing ass and all that. You know, said I'm no ass kisser. You know, I refuse to be an ass kisser, right?
Yeah, no.
But I give credit where credit's due. You feel me? I do. 122%. I give credit where credit is due. But the main problem is in the community, and this is something I do not like. And Ratchet he talked to me about this all the time. I hate it when individuals lie on black excellence. I don't like that. You feel me? It says excellence. You know what I'm saying? You do what you do. You know what I'm saying? You push forward, you do what you do, and you actually bring forth a lot of enlightenment into the community. I feel like, just me personally, this is my critique. You need to learn the lingo a little bit, the language to certain people, because sometimes you be all the way out in space. You be out there, brother. We be on Earth.
Well, I guess that's a nerd in me. I'm a stickler for a certain level of vocabulary, because that clarity that using the right vocabulary brings to the discussion is paramount. I think I'm partial to Steve. I like Urkel. I don't care what nobody says.
Because you be out there. You be out there. I ain't gonna lie. I did not know what proto science was until Juju. You feel me? She said it one time, and like I told she said it one time. I read up on it, then I acted like the next time I heard it, I knew what the hell it was. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you know what I'm saying? Catch me slipping, yo. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I learned. If I don't know it, damn it, I'm gonna actually go and check it out.
Yeah, you see, and I agree. That's the clinical nature of my person, though. That's why I love the God Killer so much. The swag and the ability to orate the narratives. You see the damn words I'm using right now? Orate the narrative. Mm-hmm. But I come out of a symposium setting where the presentations that I do are like what I presented now is the way we present, right? So it's fun for me. It's a lot of information, right? And I'm going to develop the swag. You saw tonight. I was taking my shots. I was flowing in there. I was bouncing it up.
Style, said you good. You good. You got your style. You good. You got your ability. You know what I'm saying? I applaud it. It's perfect. You feel me? Because your element and the way you do things is perfect on how you present and how people can know you. Because one thing I do hate about you pseudo killers, you guys are secretive. You feel me? But you're secretive to the point to where it brings the worst of the worst to come after you guys. You feel me? So it is my job on Paradigm Shift TV 314 to actually show that you guys are human. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I really do. Shout out to my sister Sage. Sage, don't you dare do it now.
Don't you dare.
Yeah, but I appreciate that. I especially when it comes to, I'm like Spock, bro. Even as a kid, I was drawn to Spock on Star Trek. Logic, reason, clinical, emotionless, and that can make you seem as if you're not human, right? But I'm relaying and providing information. This was a great opportunity for me to actually talk about my own dealings with my existential crisis, to admit that everything I'm doing here is part of me coping with my own existential crisis. So it's me understanding and embracing the human experience. Understanding it, allowing me to deal with it and cope differently, doesn't mean that I am void of that experience. I do not have the ability to not be a human. Regardless of my understanding of what a rainbow is, doesn't make it less awe-inspiring. Mm-hmm. There is no reason or not part of me that looks at a rainbow and goes, well, it's just a diffusion of light that is caught up in the spectrum of the evaporated water in the air. What that is indicating to me is that there's a high moisture level, and that never takes place. I'd be looking to find where the end of the rainbow is. See if I can find particle. That's from a kid. I'm always trying to see where the end of the rainbow is. Even now, understanding that it's the diffusion of light And at a certain point, my angular trajectory will make it disappear. But I always want to see if I could find the end of the rainbow. What's wrong with that? You see, embracing science doesn't make you a robot. Embracing science doesn't make you less in awe. Like, I work next to where the airplanes fly. And every couple of days when I do my rounds on the Sky Tower, I stand there for 20 minutes and just be in awe of the hunk of metal going in the air. Understanding, lift, and all that, that shit's still cool. At the end of the day, it's just cool. So don't make us less human. Don't detach pseudo killers from humanity because we embrace humanity. That's the wildest thing ever. Don't call me a devil because I don't believe in God. That's crazy. Only when you believe in God is a devil relevant.
Hey, Ced, guess what? I get called a devil all the time. I mean, you for real, bro. People call me demonic. I was a demonic person.
I'm Xion. Those generous words left Xion lips in reference to the pseudo killers, and the rest of the panel.
It's not magical. It's not magical at all. But yeah, but Ced, I just gotta say, man, it's always a pleasure having you on. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do not fear, because Ced will be back with more presentations. I didn't want to open up the panel this time because I wanted the brother to get it out. This was his night, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to show respect to the champ, you know. But I'm just saying this. It was his night. And Xion, you and Ced got a date with destiny.
Come see me.
I'm seeing.
Come ready. Take your time. Get your TMT in check.
Mm-hmm.
Get your masculine energy centered.
Smoke some
Focus
weed.
on a topic. And come see me.
Smoke some weed. Do whatever you got to do. Go in the bathroom. Yell at the mirror like a damn monkey. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the heck you got to do to get that spirit out of you.
Get centered.
Woo-sa. Woo-sa. Woo-sa, bro. Woo-sa. Don't be coming out here screaming. If you do that, you know, I don't know, it might scare whoever moderating the platform at the time. They'll kick you off on accident. You know what I'm saying? They might think you're going to try to jump through the damn screen. But chill out. Be calm. Don't be a raging caveman. Chill. Just chill. Brother, we here. Use your inside voice. Talk with Cedric Ortega. It's all right. I mean, like, you can, depending on how it is, it'd be a debate or a conversation, but you got to talk to this man. You got to deal with this. You got to deal with him. You don't want to deal with him. You don't want to deal with him.
No.
You don't want to deal with him.
No, and I'm the buffer. I'm that buffer. Y'all maybe don't like it that we have a hierarchy that you need to pass through the squad to get to the boss, but that's just the way the video game is played, niggas. You gotta go through me before you meet the boss. Y'all ain't worthy. Simple as. We have established and set up that format. Unc's gonna have a conversation with you. If you're worthy, I'll beat you up for the fun. That's my job.
I gotta watch Unc though. He be kind of nefarious a little bit. You know, he a Ravens fan. They just like fighting for no damn reason. I'm saying,
hey, Action Jackson, baby.
Yeah, yeah, the little dance. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because I didn't see if y'all watch some of Unc's community skeptic shows, you'll see what I mean by that. You know, but you know, he's welcome. He's welcome. But you know, his last two shows with Tiffany and hey, I'm not even gonna talk about that. But Unc is quite legendary. I gotta give it to the man. He is. I gotta give much flowers to him. But you know, when he's on the platform, when he's coming in conversations, he's just regular old Uncle Bobby. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody says that's my inspiration.
Yeah.
10 years plus ago, I saw the God Killer that came on Sonetta. I've been an atheist, but I saw a black man that stood up and said, I'm a real black atheist. That shit was inspiring to a next level. So I'm never, y'all can do what you want. I'm never, ever turning my back on the God Killer. That's it is what it is. Deal with it. So to get to him, you got to come through me. It's just what it is.
It's just what it is. And Cedric won't give up too. He's an islander. He got a machete somewhere in hand, real close to him, probably by his bed. He's gonna reach for it. You know what I'm saying?
And his name, his complete name is Sid Vicious. I'm just saying.
Oh man, Sid Vicious. Sid Vicious. What islander you know got a pit bull, man? That's come on, man. What? Hey,
he's a band dog, right? He's a band dog. So that's a cross between a mastiff and an old school pit bull, right? So he's gonna be about 90, 95 pounds, and he's gonna work. Y'all gonna see the development. I have if you go on my page, you're gonna see Iceman Ace and Big Daddy Kane. If you see what those dogs did, watch out. Sid, yeah.
But yeah, Sid. Hey, I know you gotta go.
Yeah.
Clock in tomorrow because you don't have no boss. You can be late whenever you want. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, you gotta go and be a janitor. Or pretend to be a janitor, you know what I'm saying? Hey, a lot of people just don't know this man ain't got no boss. He is the boss. You know what I'm saying? He hires and fires. You know? Hey, that's the cold thing. He be in his office all the time talking on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Hey, a lot of people don't know what Ced do. Hey, one of these days, Ced, we gotta show the life and workings of Cedric Ortega's, just what he does on the groundwork. You know what I'm saying? One of these days, you know.
Yeah. I'll make a little short documentary, a 10-minute clip. And
yeah, you telling people what to do when you pointing. Because I mean, one time you were pointing, when you were pointing at that dude, what is that over there? Hey, oh, so sorry, Senor Ortega. He called you Senor Ortega. He said, "Oh, sorry, you put his head down like you was massa." That fucked me. What we got going on over here?
You gotta stop it. Stop.
What we got going on over here, bro?
Yo, you gonna have these people wilding out, bro.
Hey,
you have them crashing up.
That's what I saw. And the dude put his head down like this. You know, when you subservient, you put your head down a little bit and you do like that and you look down and all that. I mean, what type? Hey. He's like, no, Senor Ortega, no. I'm getting back to what he didn't want no problems. He scurried on out the way. He was scurried on out the way, boy. Boy, scurried on out the way, boy. He had to he wanted to keep his job. You didn't get a chance to finish telling him what you needed him to do. He just knew he was fucking up. Hey, that was wild right there. And then I said to myself, this man ain't no damn janitor. That's what happened when you listen to niggas in the back chat. They just lie. They lie. They lie. Why niggas be lying, bro? Why we gotta lie like if you gonna lie, make the lie make sense. Don't let the lie not make no goddamn sense. Oh man, he got his broom in his hand. The general manager of the island, boy. Leave me alone, Zed. Hey, from this day forward, if anyone up here tell me that says the janitor, I'm cussing you out. I'm sorry. You're getting cursed out. You know, I'm tired of this shit. It's stupid. The man ain't no damn janitor. You know, he ain't no janitor at all. I mean, it's been times I tried to set up debates with Ced, right? And Ced, now, you know, I respect Ced because he's a hothead, you know, just like me. Hotheads unite, crash outs unite. But the thing is, you know, the thing is, when he give his credentials to certain people who also have their elective degrees, they back out, do everything in their power to not debate him. And, you know, hey, the man needs a debate. You know what I'm talking about. That shit is bullshit. We thought something was going to happen. Motherfucker backed out. Yeah, wind back. You got to talk with Unc about it. The Unc know who I'm talking about, too. But check it out, though. I just got to say this, though, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Y'all need to quit saying Ced is a damn janitor. All right? He ain't no janitor. You know, there ain't nothing wrong with being a janitor. But this man is something way, way, way much more. Put respect on this man's name. Highly.
Well, I teach cleaning to the janitors. I teach them the difference between a detergent, degreaser. Those are all your soaps, quote unquote. I teach them how stearates and nitrogen head and stearate tails actually work, so that they can use the right soap for the appropriate job. I explained sanitation versus disinfection and these type of things, which chemicals to use where. So technically,
they said they're gonna clip this and they're gonna mess it up, brother. I know what you're saying. So let me explain this. So, ladies and gentlemen, because he is over health, right? You gotta understand he has to teach the damn janitors. It's not no regular soap or whatever you use and shit. It's not no regular, it's disinfected, and then there's sanitation. The chemicals in that is very hazardous if you're breathing it in. It's very, very, very different from what I work in hazmat, right? So I deal with a lot of hazmat materials and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I transport a lot of that stuff. So it's different. So Ced actually does the heavy duty stuff. It's not little old Maria and then motherfucking goddamn me Jimmy Joe and fucking goddamn me DeAndre who just want to clean up the bathroom. No. We talking about clean up some things that are very hazardous to breathe in, be around, that can cause skin rashes, cancers, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He actually deals with the heavy duty shit. You know what I'm saying? Heavy duty shit. So it's a bit different, bit different. So, he ain't the cleaner upper man like y'all want to put him out to be, man. This is Cedric Ortega.
Heavy duty stuff.
Yeah. So from this day forward, he's not just the Lions Den champ. He is a Paradigm Shift TV 314, not the actual Lions Den. He is the one and only official Islander official. That's what he is. The official Islander official, the man of the hour, the man.
Paradigm Shift is international.
This man is the man that put his whole island on his back. I'm gonna put some respect on his name. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm Classic Craig. This was the Pseudo Slayer, the rapper. He a rapper too. And he go hard. He don't suck either. He be going on bars. And not only that, how many languages you speak, Cedric?
4.
He speaks 4 languages. So he can cuss you out in 4 languages. He can cuss you out in 4 languages, bro. 4 of them.
4 of them. Hey, it was this one dude that was a racist in the chat. Yeah, we got racists in the chat sometimes, right? And check this out. Cedric got so mad at this dude, he cussed him out in Spanish. He cussed him out in Spanish. Then he said it in English because he said, I don't know if you know Spanish. So I'm going to say it in English because you're that dumb. I'm like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to tell you what he said. It was gruesome. Oof. It was gruesome. But, you know, hey, Cedric is wild. Cedric is cool, man. Man. And, hey, we're gonna see more presentations on this source and slide. This is a special source and slide with Classic Craig, the one and only Classic Craig. You know what I'm saying? We love you all. We got some more. Also, a special treat. The social media tournament is coming. It is coming. It'll be here in August. We got our 4 contestants already, and only one will take the title. And guess what? Cedric took the title from the original champion and threw it up in the air, and voila, we got the tournament. And guess what? Cedric is going to be hosting. I don't know if all the debates, but a few debates. But I really kind of want all of them. You know what I'm saying? Because he was the one who took the the social media belt and gave it back to the platform. That was some real wrestler type shit right there. That was legendary. That was gangster. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's coming up. Ced's gonna be one of the main hosts. We got a lot to be working out, man. And hey, we will be.
Stay tuned. Paradigm shift. Like Craig said, got a lot more presentations to do on the platform. Again, they are going to be controversial because this is a debate platform, right? So don't expect necessarily any kind and therapeutic presentations like we got tonight. There is going to be some fire.
Yep.
It's going to be some fire.
Yep.
So stay tuned. We about to turn it up. The summer's going to be hot. Summer's going to be hot.
Very hot.
Right here on Paradigm Shift TV.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And catch Ced also on the Community Skeptics and the Pseudo Killers channel. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Stay tuned. My co-host, my ride or die, was here on vacation, so we were taking a break. But of course, I got the series in store, the Bible Decoded, that is still coming. I know I've been promising it for a long time, but of course, we've got lives. My janitor work is absolutely necessary, so I got to keep those toilets clean, right? So stay tuned. We still got that one coming. It's another 5-part series, the Bible Decoded. It's going to be a fun, and that in itself is going to spark another whole wave of attacks on the pseudo killers, of course.
Oh man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And they are armored for it. They are armored for it. But yeah, so check it out. We have on the 19th Apollo Bay versus Michael Everett. That's going to be fiery. That's on the 19th. They're going to have their face off. It's going to be epic. There's rumors right now. Hemi is trying to get in the front of Hebrew right now to debate him. It's a lot of wild things going on. The social media tournament is approaching. It's going to be wild. It's going to be fully epic. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that was all the magic for tonight. And I am your host with not so much the most, Classic Craig. And that was the champion, the Pseudo Slayer, Cedric Ortega. And I would like to say to all the family of Paradigm Shift TV 314 and the Pseudo Killers and the Community Skeptics, I would like to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being around. Thank you for rocking out with us and jamming with us. Shout out to the MVP tonight. That is Miss Heru Consciousness. She is wild as hell. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Heru, I know you're very proud of your wife. I love how y'all be in the chat texting and shit while you at work. She at home doing what she doing. This should be funny as hell to me, but y'all make the greatest team ever. Shout out to both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to number one, Big Heru Consciousness, number one of the Versus series, man. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Heru catching the bodies in the tournament. Y'all watch out Once the champ is there, it's gonna be hell to get the belt from him. He's on the rise. He's coming for y'all. I have a front row seat to the demolition, and I'm loving the destruction. Keep taking the head off, Heru.
Keep taking the head off, Heru. Keep fighting, Heru. But yeah, I just gotta say, man, shout out to all of you. Thank you, Mr. Ortega, for coming through. You know what I'm saying? It is always a pleasure to have you around, Chief. You and you know what I'm saying?
You know, this is family. I appreciate it. I had fun. This was fun, and we're gonna do it some more. You know, I told you from jump. This is family. I'm ride or die. I'm loyal. And this is extended family. I'm pseudo killer first, but I'm a part of the Paradigm Shift family. That's for sure.
Understandable. But you know what? Hey, so everybody in the natural world, and yes, that's including the universe. Hey, a lot of people don't know that the natural world is the universe. They get mad and delete shit. And act like nothing ever happened. They ain't the standard no
more. What was that methodology?
Woo! Oh, hey, hold on. We get on that. We're gonna get on that another time. We're gonna get on that another time. We're gonna get on that another time.
I think I need to write me an essay on that.
Yeah. There's a lot of, you know, I'm doing a study on methodology, man. It's interesting how
it's interesting.
Methodology says one thing, but someone else says another thing.
Mm-hmm. And your methodology that embraces confirmation bias is a flawed methodology. But I digress, because I want to be a part of the conversation and not apart from it.
Exactly. But we're gonna get on that another time. That's just the inside joke between me and Ced. You know, the inside joke. You know, it's just it's not what you know, it's who you know. You know what I'm saying? It's who you know, and it's not necessarily right. Because let's put it like this: when you say things because a lot of people don't know this, and this is something I've noticed in the community. You have pseudos that hide behind other pseudos, like octopi. They shapeshift and squeeze between the cracks, hiding behind every rock and little crevice to hide their pseudo ideology.
Slip them every now and then, throw the little hints, and when you jump on it, they run. But no, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, they be magical in they belief. They just had a lot of magic, and you be like, "What's going on here?" Like, I thought you was this way, but they just say they in love with the ancient people. They love them ancient people. They love it. They love the magic. Shut down. They love it. Hey, but that's enough.
Love it.
Yeah, I need to quit that. But it's just, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are going to get into that very soon. We're gonna get into the
magic.
We're gonna get
if we go down that road, we'll be here till 4 a.m.
Yeah, we would. But yeah, man, hey, it was great. It was what it was. We've been on for 3 hours. That's what happens when Ced and me get together. We always have a good time. It always be wild. You know what I'm saying? I ain't feel like cussing nobody out tonight, but you know that I ain't, because I know people want to come up here and attack Ced and go crazy. But I needed the brother to get his presentation out and to get out what was said. But it was only right to get the brother's point across, right?
Hey, listen, and y'all be chomping at the bit for the next time. So save that energy, bottle it up, because you're gonna have the opportunity. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yes, sir. But anyway, till next time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'll have some more magic. It'll be great. Anyway, hey, I'm Classic Craig. That was Cedric Ortega. And this right here is the one, the only. Well, it wasn't going to be the one and only, but this is the one and only Neo Love. So I just gotta say, good night, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Peace out. Take us home, Neo.
Yeah. I know I got about 30 seconds to make y'all feel this before y'all turn it off these days. That I might not even release this. But I be doing this shit for me. Help me get through. I feel like I give until I can't, but most don't recognize it till I ain't. Blood on them covers, she hoping paint. Sorry mama, but it ain't. This world took a toll on me, and everyone that say they love me always seem to follow me. The same one that call me great, treat me like I ain't shit. I read between the lines, it's written all over your eyes. I see the disappointment in the eyes of the ones who want me dead, but I ain't never been scared, I tried to get there. Sometimes I wonder if I survived or did I die on that ride to that hospital. Demons all around me, I am not mental. This game of life, it is not simple. Last time I was happy, I was popping pills. I know I got about 30 seconds to make y'all feel this before y'all turn it off these days. That I might not even release this. But I be doing this shit for me, help me get through. I feel like I give until I can't, but most don't recognize until I ain't. Blood on them covers, she hoping paint. Sorry mama, but it ain't. This world took a toll on me, and everyone that say they love me always seem to follow me. The same one that call me great, treat me like I ain't shit. I read between the lines, it's written all over your eyes. I see the disappointment in the eyes of the ones who want me dead, but I ain't never been scared, I tried to get there. Sometimes I wonder if I survived or did I die on that ride to that hospital. Demons all around me, I am not mental. This game of life, it is not simple. Last time I was happy, I was popping pills.